Hey, this is Ross Payton with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Eclipse Phase, the 8th C. Part 2 of the Mercury heist pre-planning, essentially, as this is a big old heist. So, to summarize, your group assaulted a polar fortress on Mars, made off with the ego of a VIP, and after your contact, Calamity, who told you about the VIP was there, did some psychosurgery on the ego, found some very, very juicy data. This data, if you don't remember, is the location, of a General Luke Crittenden, a U.S. general who is believed to have died during the fall and is considered one of the architects of the Titan program. He's apparently alive on some exoplanet somewhere, rebuilding the Titan network. That's not good. It's also worth a lot of money if you can find out where he is. It's worth even more if you decide to go there yourself. You could even technically become the heads of your own new galactic empire. Or you could just get enough to retire. It depends on what you want to do with it. So that's a question. But first you have to get that data. Now, Calamity's figured out the location of the vault. It's on the Apotheosis antimatter factory on Mercury, which is an abandoned antimatter factory. There's a lot of antimatter factories. I'll just keep saying that every time. On Mercury, because Mercury has very cheap power vis-a-vis solar. And it's also, if something blows up, it's Mercury. It's
who
not...
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, they're big anti-Mercury bias here, apparently. The factory is supposed to be abandoned because it had an exsurgent outbreak 3 years ago. But your compatriots have scouted out the factory. That's what they did in the last adventure. And they found out that was faked. The VIP that you kidnapped, Alexandria Crittenden, basically bought the factory out, reprogrammed the robots to kill everybody, and then did some psychosurgery on some of the survivors to make them remember it was exsurgents that did it.
So it was a honeypot situation.
False flag, but
false flag, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a false flag attack. But you realize the reason why she wanted this factory is because if you want to vault, you want to make sure nobody gets the data if it's compromised. Well,
make it a quarantine zone.
Well, that, and also, if people get through that, then if something bad is detected, you have a failsafe. The failsafe being an antimatter bomb. So...
Which is destroying everything.
Well, not everything on the planet. It's not that you can detect from satellite scans that it's powerful enough to vaporize the entire factory.
Yeah.
Well, I looked up there's a video of the size of megaton yields.
Mm-hmm.
They said they end with antimatter bomb would be 450 megatons.
Well, it depends on how much antimatter we're talking about.
But they said an antimatter bomb the size of a nuclear warhead.
Mm-hmm. So now, in order to contain that antimatter safely, you need a lot of power. Now, after you've analyzed this place and figured out how to get... you figure out where the vault is there, you figure out the traps and defenses. Like I said, they did a really good job scouting this out, casing the joint, as it were. The problem is that there's no way to disable the bomb without providing a new power source to it, a power source that you control. And this can't be like a battery, it can't be like a generator you haul. It has to be a big-ass generator. It has to be something big. So, but there's no problem without a solution. And so the solution is Mercury has these nomad caravans that follow the sun and basically spend their time working in the twilight hours, and then they dig down to avoid the heat and the cold. So they have very large vehicles. Very large vehicles with
crawler-type vehicles.
Yeah, with very large generators. One of them...
I think I've heard about these guys.
Yeah?
Kind of short fellas, maybe between 2-3 feet. Say Utini a lot.
No. That's
They're not the Dean things. They're different.
Yeah.
These are the guys the tall man commands.
So there is one caravan, the Karst Collective, that is going to be in about a month. Going to be as close as any caravan is going to get to the factory.
Is it Karst Collective?
Karst.
Or Karst.
Karst, like the
like my last name?
No, Karst, like the rock.
The topography.
Okay. Topography.
Okay, so...
Karst.
Okay.
Karst.
Okay.
Karst Collective.
Okay.
So That's the closest any caravan and thus any generator that you need is going to get to it. So,
Which would actually give us a window to get there.
Window to get there, and then obviously infiltrate the caravan, and then of course figure out how you're going to hijack this crawler and get it into position, because it's going to be close, but you're still going to have to like veer off course and plug it into the factory at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I doubt that we've got the manpower to just kill everything on board it. So
Well, you don't know yet. You don't know anything about this collective.
I don't think we really want to do that.
I mean,
I
that's
would also
true.
agree with that.
That's true. You actually probably could if you were really fucking vicious enough.
But the thing is, we're not.
Yeah.
Let's leave piss off everybody for plan D at least.
This is going to be more like, think bank heist where you have to hold a bunch of people hostage while somebody drills the vault open. So
Yeah.
it's like control
No problem.
the civvies. You're probably going to have to keep some of the civvies to control the crawler, because those things are fucking weird and hard to operate, and probably require multiple people to operate. So you don't know, of course, at this yet. Maybe you can autopilot them, maybe not. Maybe there'll be unexpected technical problems.
We could also bribe them.
Well, that's going to be a hell of a bribe, because they also don't want to go near that thing, because as far as they know, it's infected with exurgents, and the only reason they haven't bombed out of existence is it's an antimatter factory that, as far as they know, has been shut down. So they hope. So yeah, people are very cautious and scared of that place. But of course, we have another concern. One is one of you needs to make a very important D100 roll.
Which one?
I don't know.
I'll do it.
Okay.
How good do you think my shiny new dice are?
Well, they are easy roller dice.
All right, I just want to see.
Why don't you take those easy roller dice and throw them in this easy roller dice tray?
Okay.
If you insist.
41. All right.
Not abysmal.
Okay.
Could be really good if it's a skill roll.
Well, we don't know what we're rolling.
Yep. You don't know.
Yay, I'm not responsible for anything.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All right. So at some point, we will go take little breaks, and we'll do a one-on-one with everybody to discuss certain things. So we can do that. But first, you've all gotten back from the sun. So as your space whale race rigging betting
We had
scheme
fun.
was fun and profitable. So good job on that. So
Love the
you,
way you almost died, but didn't.
yeah, there you go.
We got through it.
We almost died, but you didn't. That's your friends in the Wednesday group are on quartet, and they're doing things. We'll say, let's you are on a. Let's see.
We're on a boat and it's
No.
going fast and
I forgot to where to put you.
Take a good hard look at the boat.
I've got this nautical branch.
Actually, I'll just make up
on
another
my
station.
can.
You're on another station.
Are we still in the salamanders?
No, you can take your original. No, you had to. You farcasted to the sun, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
We did.
No,
Okay.
and we were in salamanders while we were doing
Yeah,
that,
that's
so-
true. So yeah, we need to discuss that. So you can actually farcast. Farcasting would be quicker. Obviously, you probably don't want to take the salamanders with you because they're not going. I mean, they'd actually be good. Well, the temperature swing is going to be too much for them.
Is it like a narrow strip where it's tolerable?
That's the Twilight Strip, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it still has a thing, so it's like the time of day, so they have to.
I know the planet's tidally locked.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah.
It just as it goes around the sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. But the science. So you need to figure out what you want to do vis-a-vis morphs. There are actually several places you actually go to the quartet yourself because we're doing this. We're sort of rewinding time a little bit, so you don't know what your friends are going to be doing on quartet. It's going to be fine. You can also go to the surface of Mercury. Let's see here. There are a couple of stations there. Oh no, there's another Taurus there. Hell Watch. It's a habitat that's actually considered a hypercorp habitat run by the Planetary Consortium. So they use it to keep an eye on there. So there's Lumina. It's another hypercorp settlement. And let's see here. There's the largest settlement on Mercury is called Cannon. It's a city-sized mass driver that travels across the planet's night side, flinging building-sized ingots of metal into space. So there's 10,000 people on it. Security is tight, but of course it does have forecasting facilities. So Quartet would probably be the easiest one. That has more people on it. Yeah. So I'll say it has about 20,000 people on it. It doesn't specifically say on here. So it's a tourist habitat, so it has gravity and stuff like that. I mean, Mercury is a mining planet. It's pretty considered backwaters by the rest of the culture. So yeah. So in terms of operating on, so you can do some research while you're on the sun before you figure out where you're going to go. If you want to get anything, you can get any synthmorph or any biomorph can survive on Mercury with the right equipment. Synthmorphs need basically some sort of armor. Light industrial armor is fine. Then 2 points of mods, fireproofing and refractive glazing, and then the chirogenic protection if you want to go on the night side. Chirogenic protection is 2 GP. The other 2 mods are 1 GP each.
Okay. Well, I have 8, so...
and then industrial armor is 1. So that's if you want to have a synthmorph on there. The other option is you can get an enviro suit. Actually, biomorphs or synthmorphs can get this.
Okay.
Enviro suit is basically a hard shell, like, power armor type thing. So think like it looks more like a deep sea diving suit.
It's kind of like a Big Daddy.
Yeah, Big Daddy-ish. Util mods. That's what the spoiler. That's what the Wednesday group gets for the most part. Has a week of life support, but you can get batteries and stuff to extend that if you want to stay out there, and that will allow you to survive on Mercury as long as you're not, out in the brightest. And you can get mods for that to survive the most extreme heats. So, but yeah, you want to figure out your plan first. Like, what are you going to do there? Your job is to get that crawler when it's close by to the factory so you can do the heist. So the Karst Collective, you can do research on that. Yeah. But there's another question, too, which is you have an end goal in sight, a retirement goal in sight, which is to get this data. You could get if you sell this data to a quote-unquote nice group, like the Titanian Commonwealth, the Lunar Lagrange Alliance, which is the remnants of old Earth governments on the moon, they would take that data and use it to get that guy and put him on trial for crimes against transhumanity. And they would pay you basically each 1 million credits. And that's for every cartel member, more or less. And so there are other juster groups out there. So that's sort of the morally righteous thing. Now, you could sell this data to a less than nice group, like a Hypercorp, or the Jovian Republic, or groups of anarchists or autonomists, more extreme ones. They're going to get that. They're going to go get Crittenden so they can get the data and secrets out of his head. So that would probably get you each 10 million credits. Now, if you want to... Now, the thing is, if you want to do something else with it, if you want to get real wealth, like hundreds of millions or even billions of credits, you have to go there yourself and either get that tech or extract it yourself. You could probably get 100 million credits just by getting his ego and extracting all his bank accounts and non-Titan, whatever technological secrets you could then reverse engineer or sell. Or the real thing is that whole Earth-like exoplanet he's living on with his own Titan 2.0 network that he's using with super technology. With that, God, who knows what the fuck you could do. Become heads of your own galactic empire. Or something like that. So that's something you should all think about. what you want to do. So before we even get that, maybe you all want to have a conversation about that as you're all chilling out on your solar habitat in a secure mesh space, researching that. So as this has come up, like, because you need to start, once you get that data, you need to figure out what your plan is with it, because you're going to cause your heist is definitely going to cause a lot of heat on Mercury.
Yeah.
Like,
Ironic.
So, bringing up that, and this might be going in a way we can't yet, but have we had information about the collaboration about what the other side of the group wants to do?
they haven't fully committed, but they seem to be leaning more towards everybody just selling it to the Titanium Commonwealth. So out of character, I think the next part of the heist will be another night where we try to get everybody together.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I personally would see that
So
as
you can
the
all
best.
roleplay that out.
I could honestly, I'm seeing that as personally the best way to take care of the situation. Although I am concerned that ultimately it's like whatever push that they make will be broadcast far away, and we'll lose whatever kind of surprise they have. Or if this person,
You mean your target, Lou Crittenden?
yeah, that he somehow
No, he's on an exoplanet that's so remote that there's no way he's going to hear about what's going on in the exoplanet. He also took out his only link to this solar system, the daughter.
Okay.
The daughter probably has a backup somewhere, but that's just being restored, and she probably doesn't know what happened to it.
Okay.
So she's now, like, following her own footsteps to find out what happened to herself.
So we have
So you have a new enemy.
but at the moment right now, that's at least a
Well, it's the
far off
dust seconds.
concern.
Yeah, it's not an enemy tomorrow. It's an enemy sometime 5 or 6 months down the road. It's going to take her some time.
That's still a concern.
But if you get enough money, if you manage to get this data and then sell it off, you could then have enough money to, like, completely disappear. Create a new life. $1 million credits will get 10 million credits for sure will do that. You could live comfortably anywhere that transhumanity is.
This one's concern is not just that we get the data and find the right buyer, but will they honor their agreement and not just send their own forces after 8C and more or less pull on us what we pulled on Crittenden?
Well, if we're going with the Commonwealth, then they're...
I mean, unless you keep the Titan technology for
Like
yourself.
Haven you can take.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's about time, and to extract it from you takes more time than just handing over cat. These people have more money than time. So the only way they would go after you is if you became a player by keeping the technology for yourself.
Now that I can right away say I have no intention of doing that.
And no,
Agreed.
this needs to be... If this is a risk, it needs to be taken out.
Politics is not my game.
Because despite...
So
Well,
you're
like
more
the-
leaning towards selling it to the
Titanium Commonwealth, because
Okay.
again, it's all sorts of knowledge at this point too, but it's such a massive risk compared to just going there unprepared, unknown.
Yeah, if you give them that data where he is, they'll find a way to get to him
That's
and take him down.
Thank you.
They have enough. They actually have a whole police. They have like a literal science police, and they're very good at their jobs. So, and they probably have other covert resources that you don't know about.
And have enough creds or rep to be able to at least slip away.
Well, also, if you sell to the Titanium Commonwealth, they'll probably put you under protection too if you want to stay with them. So that's if you want to just live comfortably and like for the rest of eternity technically because you're immortal.
Yeah, but
Long as I can have my restaurant, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that would be the best. That's like course of action.
Okay. Seems the group is more or less
Hedge
wanting to do
funds
the right
for the
thing.
win.
All right. Or Zemo, any other thoughts? I ask as you were eating a snack. I'm sorry.
I've
See,
always been,
this is why you go synth.
Yeah.
I've always been in it for the big game. You know, I think that if we were to get his accounts directly from his head, why stop at 1 million when you could have 100?
That's true. And then you could destroy all his technology too.
We could. The easiest way to keep it out of the wrong hands is to make sure it doesn't exist.
But given the fact that we're looking at potential titans being active against us,
Well, I mean, in that case, you lose no matter what happens. That's the worst case scenario.
If
People
he's
are-
got actual titans, the second that somebody goes to his exoplanet, we all die anyway.
Oh no, I mean, like if he has an actual Titan seed AI working for him, you're already dead.
no. this is
So
a risk.
I mean, that's also the thing. Do you trust? I mean, the Titanium Commonwealth are the quote unquote nice guys, but like, can you actually trust that they will? Their science police will take them down and not keep any of that shit for themselves.
It's a risk no matter what.
So yeah, the
I don't
100
think we
million.
can.
So that's an all or nothing. Like, figure out how to get to that exoplanet and then jump through that Pandora gate and hope that he doesn't just kill you as soon as you pop out, and then take him down.
So
Yeah,
That's the way I'm leaning. Mm-hmm. At the very least.
of course, you don't know what's in that data. You don't know exactly how to get to there yet.
exactly.
So, like, maybe once, if you can see an angle, maybe you could do it. So,
Let's look at it
Yeah.
and see what angles we've got, and then make our decision.
Well, we're getting the information now. Once we have the information, we can actually make an informed decision.
yeah. But I mean, now it seems like it's one of those two options.
Yeah.
You're narrowing down the others.
I'm leaning towards the Commonwealth, but again, we don't yet have all the information.
Okay. So you're
And if we've
open
got
to the
enough-
100. Yeah.
If we look at the information and it's doable for 100 million apiece, think about what that means for your restaurant.
Honestly, at that point, 100 billion would almost be too much. I don't need.
Franchising, man, franchising.
The best restaurants do not franchise. You make the customers come to you because you're awesome.
Okay.
True.
What if you got your own exoplanet that's in just a restaurant, the entire planet? Plus,
Or
Could you
an
sit there and
entire
make food corny?
exoplanet that is just existing for the purpose of making your ingredients. Think about what you could do with lobster that only exists in a sea that you control. Think about what you could do if you had your own sourced butter that has its own flavor.
Trust me. The restaurants can only be part of it. I plan to have like my own agrodome where I actually grow ingredients.
well, with a million credits,
10 million maybe.
then you have to sell some shady people. So,
But we'll just see. We'll see what
Why stop at an agro-dome when you could
Yeah.
have an exodome?
Well, because I don't need that.
all right.
But again, we don't have all the
All right.
information.
So, I just wanted to bring
It
that
may
up.
be totally.
I'll take your share.
It may be doable.
We're not making cyber heroin butter. Continuing.
Why would we not make cyber heroin butter? If
That's
we
not-
have the option to make cyber heroin butter,
Also, you guys
have you ever had
just
cyber heroin
clone
butter?
your
There's a
bodies.
reason why it's called that.
Yeah.
Now, I might also start my own actual vineyard on Mars.
There you go. Yeah, that's more in the 100 million credit range.
Yeah.
That you need that kind. Like 100 million credits, you can count on Monte Cristo yourself back into Martian society. Like,
I can come down in a balloon
basically.
and just greetings.
Yeah.
Tossing credits out.
Oh,
at
you have
people.
money? Yes, please come this way. Like,
I have to say I'm an uplift.
I mean, you don't know who I am. I could have committed crimes against your. Yeah, but you have.
Well,
money.
I could say hello everyone. Like, I'm a filthy uplift. Like, no. I have lots of money.
Well, but you're not.
I am a filthy rich uplift.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, as far as anyone knows,
That's
I'm
right.
going to be an uplift.
Okay. See, yeah, there you go.
So that's what he's like. He's like,
All
I'm
right.
not like I'm an uplift. Like, no. I have a vast fortune. Like, oh, in that case, can I join the elite? How much money? Welcome, please.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's all something to think about. So
Again, I do agree with David. We need to get all the information
Sure.
first.
You
That's
mean
fine.
Zemo.
I mean,
Yeah.
you, unicorn man.
for the listeners at home, David is wearing a very nice Christmas sweater with a unicorn on it. So
And then there's the hat.
Very tasty.
there was a unicorn hat too. But
again-
that's. Yeah, putting,
I'm just saying,
putting the cart before the.
without the information, I'm leaning towards Commonwealth, but I'm open to the idea if it's
Okay.
actually doable.
Sure,
Yeah, and we can come up with all sorts of different things.
sure.
I mean, if we had that money, think about what kind of lifestyles we could live.
Believe me, I'm a person who's alive, so I think about being rich all the time.
Yeah, we're not talking about doing this job for a lot of money. We're
Like-
not talking about doing this job for an obscene amount of money.
Sacrilegious amount of money.
Yes. We are talking about make ourselves gods amounts of money.
Okay, my ego's not that big.
All right.
Seriously, like I don't need to be that. Besides, I've seen gods. They fucked up Earth. I'm not into that shit.
Yeah. All right.
Now, demigods, maybe. You know.
Demigods?
Saints.
Yeah.
Or
High profile saints.
saints/sinners.
There you
High
go.
profile demigods, yes.
So
Demigod,
okay, well, I think we can
demigods,
agree.
maybe?
Before we do anything, we got to get this information.
All right.
There.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because now you've made so many enemies that you kind of need to keep moving. If you stop now, they're going to catch up with you, and it's going to be bad.
By the way, I'm totally now like I'm going to add like a thing for me, positive. Like, okay, the Surias are kind of awesome. I'm for them. I'm for their culture and everything because that's kind of awesome.
They did,
and I kind of got to pilot one for a little bit.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
Yep. All right.
Except for the burning, that hurt.
So the task at hand is to hijack a big-ass crawler on the surface of Mercury. So you can use it for your own illicit ends. As I said, it's part of the Karst Collective, which is a nomadic group that goes around Mercury to mine. So y'all can give me research checks if you want
absolutely.
or
minor favors to dig up information about them.
Let's see. Actually, with research for our, would there be anything in our rep right now specifically, or are they hypercore related? Okay.
Well, I would. It's a minor favor. I would say any faction would have some background information on them. They keep tabs on all them, so it sort of flavors what information
22.
you will know.
Okay.
Triple crit.
Triple crit. Okay,
so
Ross, I think we're going to know everything about
We got
99 critical
Well,
failure.
this is all just like basically space Google.
I know. Well, like the three of us got critical successes.
Jesus.
And critical failure.
Yeah,
So.
nice. Well, that cancels
You're
out.
line of porn.
You all learned nothing. No. No.
We can learn all our crits at the beginning of the session.
Which skill did you, or networking did you use there, Lawrence?
Criminal.
Criminal? Okay. So, the Karst Collective, you find out from your contacts that they do like the illicit drugs, especially party drugs. They frequently buy them on the black market, or formulas, so they can make them their own. Actually, it's not drugs. Sorry, it's narco algorithms. Because almost all the people on there are in synthmorphs because Mercury. It's kind of shitty to be in a biomorph on Mercury, so it's just a lot easier to be in a synthmorph. So the thing is, though, the Karst Collective is almost entirely made up of younger hyper elites trying to find themselves.
It's like, come on, Dad, I'm gonna go work on an oil rig.
It is exactly that. Only I'm going to be a Mercury. I'm going to be a mining. Where apparently a couple of years ago there was a series of XPs and Simul Space games about being a Mercury miner, and like it was a drama soap opera kind of thing. It was literally called the Between the Mountains.
I've seen that one. It's kind of like the most dangerous catch, only instead of on water, they're on a horrible hot land.
Yeah, it was like, and it was also the two mountains were two women who are very always sleeve themselves into very large industrial synthmorphs, so they were called mountains. And there was the main character, she couldn't decide which one it was a love triangle kind of situation. So Between the Mountains. Apparently, there's a very intense synthmorph. It's very popular with this.
The story was amazing.
This week on Space A&E.
Yeah, basically. So it was very tastefully done. Robot orgy, I'll say that. It's very popular with a certain segment of hyper elite, 20-something college student types. And so an entrepreneur sort of set up this business to gain life experiences, which is more valuable than anything else these days. And so they actually, go around and mine so they can learn about life. And so there are other people who work there as kind of guides and experts, and there are people there as, tourists, essentially. But there's a lot of, space podcasts and XPs and reality shows being, not filmed, but, recorded there.
Okay.
There's a lot of content being created in that book.
So that's what you get with your critical success there, Lawrence.
All right.
Let's see here. Neil, that was your character's name, right?
That's right.
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Just making sure. Neil, sorry. What skill did you use?
I use research as well. 66.
Well, research is different than criminal networking. So
you did networking, you did research.
So publicly, you don't get you don't get that kind of information. You do get some of the basics. You find out the name of the leaders: Nazir Wilhelm and Malik Katrina. The official leader of it is the entrepreneur Nazir Wilhelm. The Malik is sort of a student/dissident trying to wrest control of it. There's a very messy drama going on between them, and they have varying factions about their reasons. Seem to boil down to Malik believes that they should go full autonomous in order to be more authentic, and Nazir is like, no, it's my company, fuck you. But apparently Nazir has been exploiting these poor students, actually making them do real work, and paying for the privilege of working. So they're
internships.
Yeah, basically.
Today's Tom Sawyer.
And they don't like that. But you also, the critical success, find out there is a guy, Leopold Garcia, who has started a religious movement called the Sun Chasers. And they believe that basically staying in the hottest part of Mercury and where it's sunniest and letting your morph be overwhelmed by the sun until it fries out is a religious experience. So, yeah.
Good for him.
They use case morphs, they use cheap robots, and they recovered the cortical stacks, so it's a totally recoverable death. But
still,
yeah. Yep, it's staring into the sun until your optic sensors burn out, and then
do die,
and then your entire robot fails because it's 600 degrees. It's like, however many hundreds of degrees Celsius it is.
You die by melting.
Yeah. But your cortical stack survives. So when it gets cooler, they come by and they pick you up. So, anyways.
Pull you back in. You're like, crap,
I guess they don't. I guess again, it's entirely lock. I keep thinking, yes,
okay,
but they drag you back after you die.
Yeah. So what kind of connections did Leopold have with Malik or Nahir?
He has connections with both. It's messy, so it's kind of like a three-way power struggle between these three factions.
Okay.
So that's what you do with your crit success on research. Zemo, what did you use?
I used networking hypercorp.
Okay.
Because it seemed like a hypercorp planet, and I also got a critical success with a 22.
They actually have a lot of problems. There are other collectives, there are other caravans sort of moving around that are actually like autonomous, because Mercury is people there are very independent because it's such a shitty planet that the hypercorps can't control it very well, because it's just so god awful. Yeah, you do know that there's a lot of pressure from there's a lot of concern from the Planetary Consortium that the Kars Collective is going to do untold damage to future leaders. But on the other hand, there's other voices on there that says, like, we don't need future leaders. Everyone's immortal, so fuck them. Let them fucking sit on a rock and mine as long as they want. In fact, that's good. That lets us. We're immortal. 180 years old. I don't want anyone. I'm never stepping down as CEO. That kind of attitude. So, kind of systematic problems in the hypercorp system. Hierarchies that never change because of immortality. Kind of beginning. Fortunately, the fall kind of solved a lot of that. But now, 10 years later, those problems are coming back.
For some strange reason.
Yeah, like as more people are being made now, that's starting to become a problem again. Anyways. And some people think that this is the Kars Collective's action is just because these people were mostly kids when the fall happened, so they're fucked up anyway. And no amount of psychosurgery is going to do that unless you erase their personality.
Yeah.
In which case, why even bother? Because if you just want to, usually what happens with psychosurgery is if you psychosurgery to someone too much to make them whatever personality you want them to do, you just turn them into mush sooner or later. So. It's like cooking. You can't take things out. You can keep adding ingredients in, but that's not going to save you.
No.
It's basically what happens when you Zsa Zsa Gabor your brain.
Yeah.
Or, wait, Joan Rivers, your brain. Would be a better term.
Basically. So, and you critically failed.
Yeah, so just that favor's gone.
So that's sort of the broad perspective of it. They do not have a forecasting facility on any of their vehicles. You have to take a shuttle there. Now, because it's sort of open and they expect tourists, it's pretty easy to come. And a lot of these tourists are sort of incognito. As long as you have creds, I would say it costs you each a gear point or a minor favor to get a shuttle. Of course, right now you're on the sun, so you can't really do that. But once you're in the Mercury system, on the planet or on a space station, you could spend a credit or a gear point each or a minor favor to get a shuttle there. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, while you're thinking about how you want to approach this, there's a lot of different ways. You could do the going loud and just sneak in a bunch of weapons and equipment to, hijack it when the time is right, and just this crawler can't go below 5 kilometers an hour or it will blow up kind of routine. Or you could social engineer things
or get some of those drugs they like.
I was actually
narco algorithms.
Well, as a man, maybe get some extra powerful stuff.
Oh yeah,
well, those could be programmed too. So
they are literally programs. But before we get too far in that, we should have little breaks for everybody, so we can do the one-on-ones. So
treason.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so we have Aaron, and I'm totally blanking your character's name.
SAIROC.
SAIROC, yeah, of course. SAIROC, yeah. So yeah, your heist is pretty much ready to go whenever. So you can... I forgot, did you leave your fork on Mars? The one that went to meet with that other async?
I believe so.
Okay,
and if not, we could, Rick on that in post. But I'm pretty sure we were good to go. So.
All right, so... you've diverted, especially after your second score, you've diverted enough resources there that you can hire a team of mercenaries to help escort you out to the quarantine zone to go and find out from Nine Lives themselves who is the original SAIROC. What went into you?
Yeah, what reasons why they decided to take a research bot right now and basically pull this crap on.
Well, you think right now it's possible that you are a fork of this other SAIROC that you met that got was being made as async because of her contact in the Titan quarantine zone.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was that whole... Yeah. So, do you have any questions?
No, I think right now I'm just trying to think of what I'll do afterwards once we figure that out. So, this is just basically...
It's up to you, man.
Part of that is going to be taking on the road, maybe joining forces with my other brethren to figure out if we can use because we're the only two other async SAIROCs that we know of right now, to see if they pulled this on anybody else, and it's figure out another way to...
Well, you get answers about your true identity. So,
that's exactly what I needed to come out for. So.
All right. Very good. All right, we're here with Lawrence to talk about a secret agenda. Yep. So, as I've mentioned before, every single player's had their own secret agenda. Mm-hmm. And Lawrence, in this case, you wanted to make your own secret restaurant. Well, you wanted to make a restaurant, so you've been allocating resources for that and figuring that out. Now, there were some questions I had for you that you could answer or not, but at this point, you've diverted a lot of resources to that. So, you're basically ready to pull the trigger. The only reason why you can't right now is, ironically, because you're wanted on Mars. Mm-hmm. Not officially, but... Yeah. Your enemy, no matter what identity you come up with, your enemies would probably find you. So, I mean, you kind of need like 1 million credits worth of protection in order, in order to really start anew. But yeah, do you have any questions for me about that?
So really, I don't. So I really wouldn't even need the big one.
No, I mean, 1 million credits would probably be able to let you start over. Basically take over the identity of a famous dead chef. Oh, I was found in cold storage.
This was the body they put me in. Yeah, and I rather enjoy it.
Yeah. So you could make up whatever story you want with 1 million credits. You'd be starting over. Now, there's a slight chance. You'd always, of course, have to watch your back. There's always that chance that someone can figure out.
I've always been watching my back.
Yeah, so there's always a chance your pass could come up at you, but 1 million credits would definitely do that. And of course, or 1 million credits, you could just give up all that work you did to start a restaurant on Mars and just make one on the Titanium Commonwealth and enjoy the protection of their police. But yeah, yeah, that's up to you. So
I'm probably still going to go with Mars.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm now definitely going to go for the 1 million.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have any questions for me about your agenda?
Yeah, I think it's all pretty good to go.
Cool. All right.
Sweet.
All right, I'm here with Greg, who's playing Nil, and this is talking about your secret agenda. Because your secret agenda for this campaign has been to first set aside some resources for a contingency plan in case you needed it to run, and then also to investigate to figure out who the traitor was.
That's the plan.
Yep. So you've done a lot of investigating, and you've been watching your colleagues very closely. And there's 2 colleagues in particular who seem to be doing something. And you're very suspicious of 2 of them, SAIROC and Lawrence. You've caught them both making long-range communications, encrypted ones, so you don't know to who or to where or what message. But they've been making long-range messages that no one else has, and you can't think of any given reason. You've been able to for other people making long-range communications, you've always known who has been making kind of what, or you could make educated guess. But those 2 are the ones you're most suspicious of. So I will say, at this level, if either of them does something, you would have a role to act to before they pull out a gun and shoot you or whatever. So you have that role.
I'm on edge.
You're on edge.
All right.
Now, if you want to do something else, or if you have questions for me, we can resolve them. So, do you want to try anything else, or are you just going to wait for them to make their move, or are you going to? Because that gives them obviously no chance of being able to realize that you're onto them if you do nothing.
Yeah. Do I think they suspect me? Are they
right now?
On
No.
me? Then I'm just going to keep watch. I'm going to lay low, just be ready in case something goes down.
Okay. But yeah, you think you're pretty sure one of them is a traitor.
Yep. I think I'm just going to try to build a case on one of them and then be ready to.
Well, that's the thing. You can't build a case on one of them. You could build a case on both of them, but you can't. Without taking additional actions, you can't eliminate one of them as a suspect.
Okay.
So that would require you doing something which puts you at risk of being discovered yourself.
Yeah.
So.
But at this point, I'm just getting ready to either fight or flee.
Okay. All right. So
probably flee, if we're honest.
All right. Fair enough. And if you want, we'll see how this resolves.
Okay.
All right. Very good. All right. I'm with David here to talk about his secret agenda.
Yes.
For Zemo's secret agenda. So I will tell you this: you've gotten a message from Eliza, you're pretty sure it's Eliza. It's an anonymous message, but it's an anonymous message that says you are yourself.
Good. That means that I am definitely not the traitor.
As far as to the extent that Eliza can be sure. So obviously, you can't prove a negative. There's always that chance she got it wrong, but it's a lot better than. It's external validation.
Yes.
So
an external validation in this particular case is good enough for me. Mm-hmm. It means that there are 7 other potential traitors out there. Mm-hmm. And frankly, there is one that I suspect more than the rest.
Okay. Who do you suspect?
Well, I have suspicions that there is a member of our group that is, in fact, not just the traitor, but somebody who is carrying the exsurgent virus in them. Mm. I suspect SAIROC for a number of reasons.
Okay. Well, you actually have 2 other suspects then.
Okay.
Actually, Lawrence and Nil have both made messages. They both have something to hide. They've been both making long-range messages that you have been able to figure out who they were. Everyone else, you've been, as far as you could tell, you have a pretty good idea of what everybody's been messaging everyone else. Mm-hmm. What long-range, off-station messages. But they've both messaged things that or sent out messages that were encrypted, obviously, that you're not sure who they were. And there's other tells too, but you're so yeah, it could be any one of those three now.
Well, I'm fairly certain, though, that Nil is definitely not the one infected with the virus because of his fondness for non-organic morphs.
Sure.
He's either in a synth morph or he's in a pure robot. Every time we've known Nil, he's been in one. And if he was the one who was the exurgent threat, he would not be doing that.
That's true.
So I still suspect SAIROC a little bit more than I suspect Nil.
Okay, that's fair. You can, make whatever deductions you want. That is part of the challenge of this, is to interpret the evidence that you have available to you. I will say, out of character, mechanically, if the traitor acts, you will get a roll to realize it just before they act and have a chance to intercept or to do something, whether that's to dodge out of the way or to grab them before they pull out a gun or whatever the situation is, or to counter hack if they hack something. You will have a chance, a skill roll. But that's only just so you could just sit there and wait for them to make their move and then hope whatever skill roll you have to make will be successful. Or you could take additional actions to try and eliminate suspects. But if you do that, then obviously you have a chance of being detected yourself and looking like the traitor yourself because you're doing the shady shit. Or, of course, outing yourself that you're onto the traitor before the traitor, so.
Well, the very first thing that I would like to do is I would like to tight beam the other members of 8C.
Okay.
And make sure that they are aware of, one, my actions to clear myself.
Okay. So you're talking about just the 4 members of the Wednesday group?
The 4 members of the Wednesday group. Basically, I want to tight beam them my evidence on myself and the evidence of my suspicions of the other members.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can do that. I will do that actually right now, as soon as we're done recording, so I don't forget. Anything else?
I hate the idea that it's possibly Lawrence. I hate the idea that it's possibly Nil. I hate the idea it's possibly SAIROC. But the fact that it is most likely one of the members of this group that I have been working with means that I would like to take steps as far as insurance.
Okay.
One thing that I don't want them to be aware of is what I'm going to do to survive, just in case their idea for... How do I word it? If their idea of betrayal is to kill us all and strand us on Mercury, I want to basically go belt and suspenders. They don't know how much wealth I actually have at my fingertips.
Right.
And so I'm going to make sure that my synth morph, is able to survive on the surface of Mercury, but I'm also going to go for a heavy suit as well.
The Enviro suit?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't want them to know that mine is able to survive. That's going to be
your
the case.
synth morph? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So they can sabotage the okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if they sabotage the suit,
yeah,
and that's their ploy, I'm going to be ready for it.
Okay.
Because that seems the most obvious way.
Yeah, you can do that.
But I'm also going to be guarded the entire time.
Well, that goes without saying that you.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I said you have the role, because you're on edge, waiting for the traitor to do something.
I suspect everything is a trap. That's why I'm still alive.
Yep. So I will go make that message right now. So
thank you very much.
Right.
The game.
So we're back.
Yay!
And the Thursday group of the 8C Cartel has done some research on the Karst Collective, and they've been thinking about their future.
Yes. We're going to make Icarus happen. And by the way, when I say Icarus, I figured out exactly what our narco algorithm is going to be, and that I am going to be selling it.
Yeah, so that is actually a good plan. You could just get the whole collective, the whole caravan to trip balls, robo balls.
Maybe forget about us later.
Yeah, exactly. That would. They're probably you're not going to get 100% unless you.
Or their memories of us are going to be hazy.
Well, it depends on how many people, what percentage of the caravan as a whole is going to be affected.
We'll be sure to broaden.
So first you have to get a really strong... narco algorithms, by the way, that actually came up in last night's game too. They're on 3.
Drugs are amazing.
20, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh no, they. Yep.
So I do know the exact
332 and 3. So pedals are going to be the best thing. Pedals are narrative hallucinogens. So they are very sophisticated apps that cause AR hallucinations and whatnot. Actually, no, those are nanos, but yeah, they can affect robots too.
So can I describe what I want this
Sure.
narco algorithm to feel like?
Yeah.
Because it turns out that since we've got a group that has been staring into the sun for a while,
Well, that's only part of the collective. That's the sun
Yeah, that's
chasers.
it.
That's maybe
Yeah.
about a third of them are the sun chasers.
but we actually have somebody who has swam through the sun itself and can describe that lovely euphoric feeling.
Okay.
As I then argued, like, it's not. It really burned.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we can fake a euphoric, but to go with that,
Well, we could probably take some of my XPs from that as well, since I
Yeah.
went through the first routine
Sure.
on that.
dial it down to maybe a 1 on the pain scale.
Well, yeah, you could.
Where it's
So,
actually a pleasurable
And-
pain.
who has black markets as a skill?
I do.
Okay.
Also, yes.
All right, both of you can give me rolls.
Okay.
So you want to make a narco algorithm.
Well, if we have programming ourselves, could we make that off of our own XPs, though?
1.
Okay. So that's a normal success. Hundreds are always critical successes. I think it's in Delta Green that ones are crits, but that actually came out of last night's game too.
And that's a failure, so...
Did you succeed?
No, it's a failure.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I'm going to
one-
upgrade mine to a better success. than
You can
just-
upgrade it to superior, so that'll give you more information. So you want to make a narco algorithm, says your CrimeNet YouTube tutorial video. And the basic thing, so yeah, you need a base foundation, in which case your XPs of Suryas surfing through the sun would actually be a good one, but you want to actually combine it with a pedal. So pedals are narrative hallucinogens. So for example, if you look on 333, Soul Stave is you find yourself in a magical realm full of dangerous monsters and magical items. And you're basically on a quest to find a fork of yourself, and you're fighting evil forks of yourself in this narrative hallucinogen. So that's one option, but with the narco algorithm, you could actually use that. But you need a specialized programmer to really do this. The best narco algorithm programmers, that's their full-time job, and it's like a Breaking Bad situation where you have to be kind of a savant.
It's not enough to be programmed. You have to be a cook.
Yeah, basically, it's you're sort of the skill programming gives you sort of a general purpose thing. A drug you make is not going to be that, so you need to get an expert, which means favors. Now, so you could either now actually, but you did succeed with black markets, so you're in luck. Mercury has one other thing besides mining and antimatter factories.
It's like any rural area drugs.
Prisons. There's some prisons on Mercury, and you know that there's going to be some good narco algorithm programmers on there. So if you want to get this, if you just want to like flood the collective with narco algorithms, if you do a prison break and break out some really good fucking programmers, they'll make you some shit that will fucking fry the brains of that collective, rendering them helpless. So you got a month to pull this off.
I've got
So-
programming at
well,
86.
yeah.
I just need somebody who knows what we need to make.
Well, I can probably think of if we do that, but we might also get something in our pocket as well, because my thought is that since we have the issues between
Who else is in the prison
Leopold
with the
and here, if we might bring Malik on this too, we could state that we're trying to give them back control of this.
Yeah, if you side with one faction,
A faction, we could utilize that in one way to, flood this. Let Star Chaser. I almost said Star Child.
Sun Chasers.
The Sun Chaser. Sorry.
And Leopold is the leader of the Sun Chasers, but yeah, there is a Sun Chaser cult.
Yeah, but Leopold into here, but let him lead him out under the influence of the drugs, and then he can take over and reform the like the caravan for us, and allow us to get that, allow us to have the favors necessary.
Yeah, if you were to offer Malik control of the collective to kick out his enemies by weakening them with narco algorithms or with drugs.
By the way, is this prison? Is it like symbol space only, or is it like a physical?
I'm glad you asked. It is in the Sunward book, so let me look that information up in a second, because...
We're going to call this one Icarus, though.
No, this is a mining prison. They take the egos of convicted criminals off others' hands and sleeve them to use as labor in the mines. Yeah, they're in shitty robot bodies mining in...
Basically cases?
Yeah, basically. Cases or just synth... Actually, probably not even cases, but like synthmorphs. But like with lockdown hardware to prevent them from doing anything. So you have to physically sneak in, and locate which prisoners you want. So you need the prisoner roster. You don't know how many people are there.
Man,
that shit's secret.
If only we had a hacker and an infiltrator.
Well, right now you're on the sun. You're still in the sun. Remember?
Well, we're gonna have to get there.
So. So, and doing the shady shit is not something you could really do safely on a Mercury City or Habitat without the chance of the cops like, what the fuck are you all doing? Y'all doing hacking in this room? Yeah.
No, Mom, it's not hacking. Go away. Give me 15 minutes.
So your prison break could very easily work because it's a mining thing. So if you just sneak in there, grab some robots, and get the fuck out, they'll probably just re-sleeve them. Because they still have their egos of backup and just pretend it didn't happen. Because they're corporations.
As I said, I'm not going to massacre the crew of a crawler. I will totally steal a copy of a prisoner from a prison.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing is, if you want to do all this stuff, you'll need to set up some sort of home base that is unoccupied. So I will say there are minor asteroids you could set up a small base on orbiting around Mercury. You could also find an abandoned tin can settlement, like a mining town that's basically abandoned because it's no longer good mining, or it's just too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Or
let's hunt down one.
I like that.
All right,
we're gonna ghost our way into that mining jail from a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that.
Okay, so I don't suppose anybody has surveying as a skill. Elzar and the other group did. So
I do not.
It's a knowledge or a profession. So if not, you could. It'd be a moderate favor to get that kind of specialized information.
I can call in one of those.
Okay. And pretty much our corp or criminal would work.
Yeah. Actually,
this is to do it discreetly too.
Or I could actually ask moderate favor for maybe like an old research station that's no longer in use. So
I'll do corporate.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. If he fails, you can do that.
46 out of 50.
Okay.
Moderate favor.
So there's two. One had another exsurgent outbreak, and you don't know anything about that, so it's probably real. But it's been years, and Mercury is tough, so you can probably clear it out. It's in a better situation. It's like in the side of a crater and underground, so it's not the temperatures. Yeah, it would be more survivable. The other ones was sort of an experiment in trying to dig on the sunny side. Didn't work out. So if you brought extra cooling gear, and it's a fixer-upper. So how good's y'all hardware skills?
So what do we think, guys? Fixer-upper or literal ghost town?
Yeah.
Let's get a ghost town that might still have some infrastructure going.
So
you're saying literal ghost town?
And the other thing is that the other side of it is that we also, if we can somehow retrofit this, and it might be calling in other favors for equipment possibly, but we could. It's less likely somebody else would find us, and it might be going to put us in a perfect position for the ambush.
Both of them are about geographically, in terms of location, about the same. They're different areas.
Okay.
Yeah. So both of them are about the right spots. There are like lots of these places on Mercury, but these are the two. It's like, what problem do you want to deal with? Do you want to basically have to fix a bunch of shit before you literally melt? Or do you want to have to go fight or deal with whatever remnant exurgent infection? Like they apparently like blasted the place pretty, like orbital strike kind of shit. So they think it's pretty clear. So there's not going to be much there. The stuff the problem is that it is dug in. Sorry. It is in the side of a crater, so it actually is in there. So you're going to have to find whatever cockroach thing is there. Mm-hmm. So might not be anything.
So what do you guys think?
So basically a fight, or make skill checks, make some hardware skill checks, or it's going to be real bad. Because you're all going to fucking melt. Like, what hardware skills does everybody have?
I have none. I have computer science. That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless it involves robots, I'm more about breaking things than building them.
Okay.
I'm probably going to resleeve and do a more actually designed to withstand the temperatures and everything.
Yeah, that's the other question. So you're all on salamanders right now, so you're going to have to re-sleeve into something appropriate. If you want you can take a synth morph, and if you spend 4 points, it'll be 2 points will get you protection for hot or cold. Basically.
4 for both.
4 for both. Or you could spend 3 points to get the Enviro suit.
I'll go with 4. I'm gonna get the. I'm gonna get a.
So, what morph do you want, though?
Steel.
A steel morph? Let me look to see how much that is. Because, I think,
Once a book comes available,
Oh, here I got it. I also got one.
steel morph is probably affordable. Let me just double check.
It's a 5. Base 5.
How many gear points do you have available to you, Tom?
9.
Then you can get the morph, but you can't get the upgrades.
Wait, it's 9. I have 9.
You have 9 gear points?
Yeah, I haven't spent any.
Okay, well then, yeah, you can do both. Well, actually, let me check what is the availability. The availability is 50%. So give me a percent roll.
There it is. 12.
Yep. You can get a steel morph and get it modded out.
Doing that.
So,
may I see that book?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm the only one at the table who does not have the pretty shiny. I know.
Das Buch.
available in retail now, apparently.
Retail.
Not quite. I've been still looking.
Okay. Well, I guess it's hitting distribution at this point, so who knows how. Sorry, Neil, what kind of...
I'm pretty comfortable with the Dragonfly morph, and it's cheap, so I'm going to get that and just do the 4-point upgrade.
Okay. Dragonfly, I think, is got a super high availability.
70.
70? Yeah, do you want to make that roll?
The flat roll?
Yep.
I'll flex that to succeed.
Okay. All right. So you can get a dragonfly, and you get you trade in your salamander to get a dragonfly, and get those upgrades. So
What do you mean I can't get a dragonfly? Do you know who I am?
yeah.
Because I don't!
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to get a pleasure pod, Ross.
Wait, do you know who I am?
Okay. Pleasure pod. Okay.
Page 59. Pleasure pods are faux humans intended for intimate entertainment purposes and indulgent hedonism.
Okay.
Their biology includes extra nerve clusters in their erogenous zones, fine motor control over certain muscle groups, enhanced pheromones, sanitized metabolisms, and the capability to purr.
Okay. You can get the pleasure pod, however, because it's not a synth morph.
Actually, that's a pod biomorph.
Yeah, but pods still don't have quite as much.
So which ones are the synths?
Synths are
A little further
They're a
on.
couple pages
Oh,
down.
there we are.
yeah,
Yeah.
62.
Well, you get the
Start with
Galatea.
cases.
If you want something like that, you get the Galatea.
Yeah, see how they
I
have.
could go for the Galatea. Yes.
Yeah, you see they have environmental durability, so they start at a higher durability than any other morph, even pod. So that's why it still takes 4 points worth of mods to survive Mercury.
Okay, so
or you could get the pleasure pod, but then you'd just be stuck in the
Actually,
environment.
Ross, here. What's harder to survive, Mercury or Venus?
It depends on where in Venus.
The surface. Of Venus.
So I'm going to switch that to the Galatea then, yes.
Okay.
This high-end shell was designed to increase the appeal and social acceptance of synth.
All right, you'll definitely need to make a 50% roll on that.
50.
29.
Okay. And yeah, you can get those mods if you want. And we don't have to bother the integration checks because you have plenty of time to acclimate.
Get used to it.
And
Yeah.
actually, Ross, I'm
Yeah.
going to not get those, and
Okay.
instead I'm going to get the
Envirosuit.
Envirosuit.
Okay, that's fine. That
And-
saves you a point, basically.
Yeah, and I'll be sleeping back into a Futura, but also getting the Envirosuit as well. Or actually, the problem is I don't see the listing right now on the back here of the Envirosuit. So, here it is.
Futura is a 25 availability. What
Actually,
are you
can I
looking
see
for?
that book?
Oh yeah, for a biomorph.
Yeah, for Biomorph. So
You can't really mod it to be fully survivable. You just have to get in the Envirosuit.
that's how I kind of figured would
Yeah.
have to be happening right now.
So it's
although-
technically cheaper for you. But first you have to see if a Futura is available.
okay. So let's see.
What are you looking at?
Oh, I'm just looking at the availability right now. So and
It's on
Yeah.
56.
56. So
Availability.
for the future. Okay,
Yeah, it's a 25%.
25% availability.
Yep.
Okay.
It is a not super highly produced morph.
I know. So. All right. Odd 4 though.
Okay.
Found one. So.
Yep. Your salamander, you're able to trade that and get a Futuro.
Okay.
And then you need to spend 3 gear points to have an Enviro suit.
Okay. Let me see.
Enviro suits, by the way, if you want to do anything fancy with them, you cannot do free fall or athletics. It's pilot groundcraft.
That's why I'm going for this, so I can still do all that shit.
Yeah, because it is a big boy. It is thick. It is a thick boy. Dummy thick.
Well, it's a darn good thing I've got some res points
It's got
to spend.
25/16 armor, by the way. 25 energy, 16 kinetic. Yeah.
Since I've got some res points, can I spend them for a crash course?
So.
You could,
Yeah.
you can spend your rest points on pilot groundcraft if you want. There's also skill soft, but that's going to be more expensive.
Yeah. By the way, I now have my chef is now at 95,
Okay.
and I do plan. To
You've
spend,
been in a lot of time with that Simul Space chef training thing.
That's right.
Yep.
So no, it's my goal to get it to 100.
Nice.
So when it's prove that you're that chef.
I forgot to give them rest points last night. I'll have to do that.
So it's going to be prove that you're the chef. Get me ingredients and just tell me to make something.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So everybody's getting out their morph. So you've decided to go with the ghost, the one with the exurgent problem.
Yep.
In terms of your gear, I would say by giving up whatever gear you have at the Sun and turning that into the recyclers for credits, essentially, you can transfer that over to Mercury and fabricate basic gear.
Okay.
Because you're going to need a shuttle to drop you off there, a shuttle that keeps their mouth shut, so that nobody knows where you are, except for your cartel members. So if this fight doesn't go well, you're going to be restored from backup, basically, because there's no rescue for you. But if you want, I would say about this time, the Wednesday group kind of tells you that they kind of made some boo-boos on Quartet involving seeker missiles in the life support area.
Don't tell me those things.
So they had to bug out quick out of that space station. So every space station in Mercury is getting a little more strict.
high alert.
Yeah, what kind of weapons and shit you want? So, what kind of gear, what kind of weapons and shit do you want? Survival gear, that's fine. Melee weapons, that's fine.
I still want my rifle.
What kind of rifle was it?
I believe it was the heavy assault with the seeker missiles in the underbarrel.
Definitely no go. You cannot get that without calling in a favor.
Assault railgun. Assault rifle with rail slugs.
Yeah, with rail slugs. That's also going to require criminal favor.
Criminal favor?
Criminal favor.
Coming up.
Shelter.
What level do you have available to?
I have all of them. I have.
Did you already use your moderate for criminal?
I used my moderate for C, which was corporate.
Okay.
And so G-Rep is the criminal, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Give me that, and
I'm a make.
And I make.
okay. You can both get an assault rifle, rail assault rifle.
No warhead launcher.
You would need a major favor to get explosives at this point,
Fair enough.
or fabricate them on your own. But none of you have hardware or armor.
Well, I'm hoping to keep this sneaky as much as possible.
Yeah.
As am I.
Again, that's why you have me.
Yeah. So.
Stealth hands.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I think
Neil, what kind of? Is there anything type of?
Well, on the subject of stealth, I was thinking of grabbing a cleaner swarm, calling in an R-Rep favor.
Sure.
It's minor, it's a plus 20, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Never mind.
Okay.
Not talking to me about that.
No worries.
So, also, before I think I'm spending points on the skill right now for being able to pilot. Can I just attempt to grok it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure fucking can.
Yeah.
Actually, you can just... Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Odd 5. So,
Okay.
yep, I know how to... I don't know how this works, but I know how to use it.
Yeah.
Makes my life easier.
So, yeah, I mean, if you still want to do evasive maneuvers or something like that, you'll still have to make skill checks, but
Okay.
you can. Yeah, because it's just like you can't use Frey on this. It's too big.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a thick boy, but you know how to pilot it now.
Okay. So, okay.
Like basic stuff, like get point A to point B.
Okay, so that would be at least reflex checks
But-
to be able to get out.
Like dodging, missile fire. That's going to be a little trickier.
Hopefully I'm not going to be the
I
one
can
doing
make
that.
those rolls with
So-
pilot groundcraft, correct?
You sure can.
Woot!
That is exactly the skill to use for that. But you do not get an... That's an action. That's not like a reactive thing like Frey, because, again, thick boy. Just like saying that. So, let's see.
Can I put some big cannons on the back of my thick boy? Can I make it a big, thick, heavy boy that fires things?
Well, again...
And can I paint them purple?
You had to
make
call it a
like
moderate favor to get an assault rifle. If you want, it would be a major favor to get, like, heavy weapons on Mercury right now. So,
You just like saying boy, don't you?
Yep.
Big boy.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to need them, but wouldn't it be nice to have them and not need them than the other way around?
The next thing you need, so you're getting ready to make this to make the ghost town station. Mm-hmm. Is anybody else wanting to grab something in terms of weapons or armor? Well, you already have armor, but
melee.
So tell me about that cleaner swarm again. What's the use in that?
that's kind of like prevent disinfection.
Cleans, eliminate forensic evidence.
Yep.
Oh, also, like, can I just vibro knife?
You know, that sounds
Minor favor.
Okay.
that sounds like an awesome thing, Nil.
9.
Okay, mark it.
I'm going to call in a minor favor to get Nil the cleaner swarm because I'm sure he can use that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have it.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, what else? You still need a hack to get the prisoner records to figure out which prisoners to get. Mm-hmm. So that's just going to be a. At this point, you're in Mercury. Did you guys want to go to a station or on planet side? Doesn't really matter. It's just
Planet side.
planet side. All right.
Planet
So
side.
you're in the biggest city. The one I said that had 10,000 people. Lumina, I think it's called. So you're on Lumina, and who wants to make a hacking check?
Okay, infosec levels. Who's got what?
There's going to be a hardened target, so
62?
I have it at 70.
80.
But you have time to do it.
Okay, so if you make the roll,
Someone assist me.
I'll put on the corset. And we'll dual hack this bitch.
Oh yes, NCIS reference. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So plus 10? Mm-hmm. All right. That will be 90.
Mm-hmm.
31.
Okay. You get it,
Nice.
and you can now make an interfacing check to see if you can find the records.
Interface.
Do you have interface?
I do.
Okay.
And I've also still got the corset on, so
Yep.
All right.
Well, of course. That goes
at
without
plus
saying.
10.
27.
Okay. So you find the records. Now, somebody, our two black market experts can look through the prisoner roster and figure out which
Okay.
one.
Here, Lawrence, put this on.
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
Yes, I make. That's
Does it
That's a
match?
crit. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it
So,
does it
missed by
match
one,
my
so-
robotic frame?
turn yourself blue and it will.
I don't think I can.
What are you in again? What morph are you in?
Steel.
Steel, that's right, yeah. You're just in a robot.
A more advanced robot. But
Yep. So, Neil, give me the name of a criminal hacker. Or, a code name or alias,
Sideswipe.
Sideswipe. Ooh, that's a good one. I like Sideswipe. Let's see here.
Got an Autobot name right there.
Sideswipe and...
Also, the way that you hack the dating site. You don't just swipe left or right, you sideswipe. You can get inside
there's another one, though, and the other one is Pond Scum.
Of course it
So...
is.
Sideswipe is a contract hacker, most known for helping out 9 Lives with various things. but is has worked for other groups as well. Pond Scum is an artiste, but is a bit eccentric. He was sold out. You look through his things by a former associate who got fed up with their antics, programming little Easter eggs that did things like, "I've been compromised by criminals. I've been compromised by criminals," and shitting themselves. So, but they're known as a much better programmer of narco algorithms. But, it's artists. They're eccentric.
Okay, so why don't we grab
Why is
Ben's?
everyone looking at me?
Also, they hate each other, but if you could get them to work together, they would balance each other out. But you'd have...
Oh,
We do not.
they hate each
Smug
other?
bastards.
You
Yeah,
said?
yeah, they hate each other.
Okay. So I have a thought. Mm-hmm. We can bring both of them. Mm-hmm. We can tell them what we're after. And we can tell them that the one who does the best and doesn't hide any crazy shit inside is the one that we're going to go with. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that's going to get the fame out of this. And watch them just... We can use that as a performance thing, right? We'll just...
You make the social roles, yeah.
If you play it just right, maybe. If you don't, they might just turn you into part of their performance piece.
That's certainly a risk as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yes, but...
By the way, Lawrence, I assume you want to get chameleon cloaking again for your new morph.
Yeah.
That's another GP.
That'll be my last one.
Okay, well, there you go.
Done.
Yep. So,
I mean, granted, that'll just negate penalties.
mm-hmm.
Because my infiltrate's already 100.
Well, there's going to be significant... Well, I mean, it would allow you to make stealth checks where you wouldn't be able to otherwise, because, yeah.
It's like, no, it's like in most RPGs, it's like, I go into stealth. They can't see me, they're standing right here.
Yeah. Also, a lot of times with Mercury, because of the extreme environment, a lot of it is also... Well, you're actually going to morph, so you don't... part of the other group's challenge was trying to do stealth to sneak up to the antimatter factory to scout it, but they all took enviro suits, which are big, bulk, as I mentioned, thick boys. So they can't make infiltrate checks. So they figured out ways to do it was to use nanoswarms to cut holes where rocks were, and then create hollow rock blinds essentially that they could go to for just leapfrog.
They hid inside of rocks and picked up the rocks and just do.
That's basically cardboard box, Solid Snake, but with rocks.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they're doing their shit right now. They're scouting as you're doing this.
All right. Well, first, it's fine. They're scouting our target. Let's break into a prison.
That's basically it. He also got a crit success too. So,
Let's steal a prison.
you could grab more. You could liberate more prisoners if you want to just a quick payday.
Yes.
Also,
Also be a good cover for the actual target.
Just tell them to go in any direction
So
with the one we're going.
it's a sliding scale, obviously. Paydays that are easy and safe to collect aren't as much as big paydays that are going to be fucking hard to collect.
So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah,
where
basically.
exactly do we want to
How
land?
much? Yeah. Actually, that's exactly 1 to 10. How much GP per player do you want as your reward for liberating a prisoner?
6.
6 is pretty high.
So I think 3 or 4. So.
3 or 4 is that.
Okay, so I've got a 6, I've got a 3,
Okay,
4.
I'll go 4.
Okay.
What do you got?
4 sound good?
4 sounds good.
Okay.
Orange whip?
Well, I was actually
4
thinking
orange
a
whips.
7, so why don't we go for a 5?
7.
Let's put
The problem with getting a 7
Still.
is anything above a 4 is going to be somebody you cannot get to somebody on Mercury to get a payday.
Yeah.
That's
I'm kind of
somebody-
thinking let's keep it local.
Yeah, so
Okay.
4 is well
So if you
within-
want a payday this session,
Okay,
it's
no.
4.
Heist, no. Right now, heist local. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, let's
there's
let's get a locally sourced criminal.
Grizzly
organic.
Gunter.
Thank
Grizzly
you, Ross.
Gunter.
Thank you for that.
Grizzly
Oh,
Gunter.
is he the bear guy?
Um,
Tell me he's the bear guy from True Grit.
He looks a bit like him because Grizzly Gunter came from a video game. He's an AGI that became self-aware while he was an NPC in a Western video game. He was in the video game. He's a prospector, so he went to the one planet that he could be a prospector on, which was Mercury. But then he got all autonomous. It's like ownership is evil. Fight the power. Yeehaw!
Power to the proletariat and my gold.
Yeah, he actually knows a little bit about making narco algorithms too, because he snuck some malware into a bunch of hypercorp executives' egos to make them all do jaunty jigs and try to pan for gold. So
Eureka!
this bit of activism / terrorism got him in prison for
reasons.
For reasons.
You know what? I like this guy.
You are my favorite
I choose to
person.
believe this is Tom Waits' prospector from.
He claims to know Tom Waits.
Oh no, Tom Waits is still around. I don't give a shit.
People have said this. It's a very popular urban legend. It might even be true. But there are several nomad collectives who would pay you each a total. You would each get a reward of 4 GP to return a working copy of them there. So
Yeah. So okay.
Grizzly Gunter.
Okay, so we're getting,
with nuggets as big as your fists. Yeah.
And power return to the people.
Yes.
okay, so we're definitely getting Gunter.
Down with the bourgeoisie.
Like, God,
All struggle is class struggle.
like,
Yeah.
brings a tear to my eye. It really does.
Caleb's
Even though
gonna get himself from this
I'm
character.
physically incapable of having tears right now.
Yeah.
But I'm getting some moisture. Now.
So
Here, use this oil can.
Thank you.
So you hacked it. So you also have you've hacked the prison roster. So the prison itself is a mine, so it's underground. There are some tin can habitats on the surface, or Mercury is iron and nickel. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty hard to dig through. So the easiest way to get there is through the surface. So that requires infiltration. So
Well, that's what I do.
That is what you do. So is your plan just to sneak in and look for things, or is anybody else going with you, or
Why
do you
don't
want
I
to?
hack?
Well, the thing is, the prison itself, you would have to actually physically make contact or get really
No,
close
it's like,
to
can
it.
I, like,
They don't exactly
actually, can I-
broadcast their Wi-Fi. pretty
Actually,
far.
can I have just bring a system connection with me so I can just plug it in and he can access it?
Once you plug it in.
Okay, so I'm going to try to sneak in and plant.
Now the problem is once you do that, a place like this would have essentially
Dongle detectors?
dongle detectors. Yes, they would have scanners to pick up any sort of wireless traffic. So once you start hacking, you're going to set a clock. So it's like shooting a guard or something like that. Sooner or later, you're going to be picked up. You don't know exactly. You don't know how good the security is. It's probably not that great because it's fucking Mercury. Who the fuck would
Who's going to break into a prison on Mercury?
Yeah, exactly. So, but you have all the barcodes memorized. You'll be able to recognize them on sight because you can just read the barcodes because you have hypervision and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Neil, did you want to do anything to prep for the heist? Are you going with them as well, or do you? I forgot. Don't you have infiltrate too? Infiltrate. Bleh. Like you could infiltrate at a distance to be like.
I have info set. No, my infiltrate is terrible. It's
Okay.
20.
But yeah, does anybody else have
I've
infiltrate?
got Spy Swarm.
Okay.
They'd be good.
No.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you
You
can.
can Spy Swarm in.
You could remote control the spy swarm.
Yeah.
To provide Overwatch.
And you said that we were actually in the. It's like we were doing the hollow shell game through the rocks, right?
Well, that was what the other group is doing.
Oh, okay. So
Because he didn't take the Enviro because they were using Enviro suits.
yeah.
He's in an actual robot morph, so he can just make infiltrate checks. He's
True.
actually a lot more agile.
No, that's fine. But I'm thinking if just as a backup to the hack dongle right now, I could stand outside right now at an easy access point.
I would
That's like
say
with that.
no to that.
And-
Because
Well, the
My
thing is
plan
also...
first.
Well, first, actually, before you get into any of this, you're going to have to fucking... what do you do it? Fucking go to the ghost town.
That's true. So we have to.
So you can get the shuttle, that's not a problem, to drop you off there, and you have 2 rail assault rifles, and you'll have basically, from what you can see from satellites, which you can get for free, Google Mercury, map Google it. You can see there's basically an airlock in the side of a crater. Mercury has a shitload of craters, by the way.
Yeah.
So
And I was going to ask for this one too. I'm forgot to ask for melee weapons too. Can I have a shock glove attached to this?
What's the cost on that?
Let's see, short glove.
If it's
Minimum 1.
yeah,
So.
Minor favor.
Okay, yeah, alright. Let's see if I can get one for the researchers, so.
Self-defense weapon.
Yeah, 18, so got it.
Yep, that's not a problem. You have the supplies to get the place running so you won't die. It won't be pleasant. It's going to be very, 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 very fucking Spartan. It's going to be very kind of...
I'm in a steel morph, so it's going to be less.
Yeah. It won't be really, I think, you're the only one in a biomorph, so, it's going to be unpleasant for you, but... but first you have to get in there and secure it. So, what's y'all plan? You can get a shuttle there to drop you off near the airlock into the ghost town habitat, but it's actually partially open, which is not a good sign.
I'll sneak in.
Okay, so you're just going?
Do we have any? Can we do any scanning before we go in?
Do you want to be dropped off outside of it and then do scans, or do you have my long range stuff? Because long range stuff is obviously
It doesn't have an active mesh on, does it?
Nope.
Okay.
Drop me off.
Well, at least not that you can detect from your. Remember, right now you're in the Lumina.
station. Okay.
Drop me off.
You're in the city.
Yeah, drop me off and I'll do it.
So you're going to go by yourself?
Not by yourself. No, I'm going to go with you.
Okay.
It's better if we go in pairs at the very least, especially when potential exsurgent threat.
Well, it would be another moderate favor to make 2 shuttle rides. Because remember, this is the place you're going to set up as base. So you all, Nil and SAIROC can sit outside.
So yeah, I can. Let's wait out. Wait out here and figure out a couple of things. And if there's a mesh signal close enough, we can try to access it.
All right. So you all load up your supplies into the shuttle. You're in your envirosuit. You're in your envirosuit. You're both in armored synthmorphs.
And I'm just me.
And you have a criminal pilot who's willing to just do he's just doing a training flight. He's just happening to pause at this abandoned settlement for it.
I thought I saw something.
Which he'll erase from his flight logs. So
he's I thought I saw something. Yeah.
Nobody knows you're here. If anything goes wrong, who knows when you'll be restored from backup? Yeah, exactly. That's something to think about.
So, cards?
But you're outside. So all of you, give me interface checks.
10.
Nope. Oh, wait, yes.
Yes, 43.
Woo.
Yes.
77 out of 80. That's a crit.
Okay. There is a weak mesh signal coming from within there. The ID of it says, "Help me."
What could go wrong?
I know, we'll go to help, but also, we'll prepare plan B for bullets.
So,
I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. SAIROC, would you engage with that thing that's asking for help and find out more details?
what?
Oh, Simon.
Simon, sorry, yeah, I was using SAIROC, but
So it's okay.
his character's name is Simon.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm going to call you Josh.
I won't respond to it.
All right. Go ahead. So, are you going to connect to it?
Too bad.
Let's see. In this case, yeah, we'll go ahead and make a connection on that and see what happens.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, so just interface her. Let's see. Yeah, 56 made it.
Okay. So with a...
Although we're keeping identity coverage and everything else when we're linking in just in case.
Yeah. Obviously, you're in anonymous mode. Let's see here. Actually, no. You connect to it. You... let's see.
Actually, that would have to be the other thing because I'm not in a cyber brain, so...
Yeah, you're in a biomorph,
Yeah.
but your ecto,
That's
your
right.
implants could get
That's right.
hacked. But they don't, as
Okay.
far as you can tell, obviously. It is a simple mesh server. It's actually someone else's echo. It is a distress signal.
Okay, how long has it been running?
3 years.
Okay, are any other identifying information that we can see? Or
Well, this town was abandoned because of an exurgent outbreak 3 years ago.
Okay.
It has a
What a
colonist's name on it.
coinky-dink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, can I infosec to see if I can get any back information through, or is the signal too weak?
No, I mean you got in. Like it's just saying like I'm at this location. It has a map if you want to download that and view it.
Okay. So, is there a way to view it remotely without downloading it, or just?
No, you either download the data or you don't.
Okay. So.
You didn't bring any specialized exurgent like tools like
Yeah.
gray boxes or anything. So
Okay. Yeah. So we'll take a little, at least get that information so we can have some.
all right, give me an infosec check.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and spend a moxie. Spend cog on there to reverse that. So that's an ought 9.
Okay. All right. It tells you that it gives you a map of it, the facility as it is,
Okay.
and it says that there is one area, the central corridor, that is marked as warning sculpture.
Warning sculpture.
Yeah.
So is there any other information that's given on this, or?
You can get around it by going through, access tunnels.
Okay. So.
Small, like, crawl through Deus Ex, Die Hard kind of tunnels.
Okay.
But it says, it apparently was hastily put together. Like somebody was dying and put together a map. Please get me, I'm here. And then died. And their actor was left on repeat. And it's just slowly been using all the power left to do that.
Okay.
So you don't know
what's going on, or even if that place is secured anymore. So, alrighty then. So I will share that information with Lawrence. So,
Okay.
Okay. So you have a map of the facility. There is the problem is that the main corridor, it's sort of like a central tunnel, vertical tunnel that think one big vertical tunnel with a bunch of like side rooms connecting to it. And it's somewhere in the middle of theirs. There's some sculpture warning. That's it.
Oh, this isn't this petrification virus shit.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I guess I'm going through the ducts.
Well, you have to get in first. So you're going through the door.
Sure.
All right. Is anyone joining you?
I'm going to cover you from here with this gun.
Are you going to pass the airlock door?
I really don't want to. But I guess
I'm going
if
to
I
thoroughly
have to.
inspect it before I go in.
All right, proceed.
How narrow a passage is it?
The access tunnels?
Yeah.
22.
I mean, you'd be fine.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't
Okay,
fly, obviously.
You did get a 22.
I got a 22.
There's no, unless it's nanos.
As a master thief, I'd naturally crawl every square inch looking.
Any type of threat that you can perceive, it's not there.
It's okay.
You've seen, obviously, there were signs of a struggle there. There were plasma scorch marks and that kind of thing.
This was years ago.
3 years ago.
All right, I'm going in.
Okay. So if you
I
can...
will follow.
Okay. So
Just fluttering behind me.
the two of you go down the corridor a little ways. Like I said, the airlock door is partially open. It looks like someone was trying to close it from the outside, but was shot, or the hardware
Something
was damaged. Yeah. So that's something you're going to have to fix. But you can do routine. If you secure the area, you can do routine maintenance. So you see up ahead there is a closed door, airlock door. The inner door that is closed. However, there is a maintenance access tunnel that you can get into to get to the signal without having to open that door.
All right, I will crawl through sneaking.
Okay. So, but if you want to see what's in you have to go through that second door in order to see what's up at where this warning is to see if you want to check that out. Remember, this is a place you're going to have to hole up into for a few weeks if you want to pull this thing off. So you're unless you want to just stay in the airlock for 2 weeks.
Rather not.
Yeah, which might be able to pull off. It's going to be very claustrophobic, even in robots, but yeah. All right, so Neil, you're going in first?
I was going in behind you, but if it's easier if I take point.
I mean, he has the gun, but you are far more agile in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tell you what.
I've also got the spy swarm if we really need to.
You can send the spy swarm down first.
Spice worm.
Okay.
Spy swarm.
All right.
Spice worm.
And I'll puppet sock them and just control them directly.
Okay. Yeah. So you send them down. You all wait. And they go through the tunnel. And you can see for free. It opens up into a totally dark corridor, but you have night vision on those things. I mean, they can see in the dark, essentially. And you can see a synth morph, standard robot morph. It's jury-rigged a battery. An extra battery to itself. You can see that it was hastily done to give it. You realize whoever was it was hit by acid. It's partially melted, and it seems to have jury-rigged itself with an extra battery to give itself power, or at least its ecto power, its little computer power to send out that distress signal. So it was basically melting. It's like, oh shit! I hope someone finds me. Die. The head seems to be intact. So maybe he shut himself down so he wouldn't be stuck in his head for 3 years. But yeah, give me a perceive check to see if you can detect anything else.
I will flip that to an odd 7.
Okay. This is towards the bottom of this entire habitat, this underground little mining settlement, essentially. And you can see, so the corridor goes off to the end of the line, essentially. But then on the other side, it goes off back to the main vertical tunnel, and access tunnel. And that one you can see light. Like, there's power and light. And there's dangling cables that are moving. They look like data cables. They're wired to, it looks like as you look at it, because you made your check, you realize there's a bunch of almost looks like a server farm kind of set up on the floor of the vertical tunnel at the bottom of it. But like shitty kind of like jury-rigged improvised server frames, taking the computers out of every piece of machinery in the place and making them,
duct taping them together.
Yeah. And all those data cables are connected to something sort of, you can't see it. It's obviously above, so somewhere. Yeah. Then, so yeah, that's what you see. But then there's the robots there. So your Nanos one, obviously, if you can't really send it that much further out, there's a lot of that far down. It's probably about 100 meters away, but you have a straight shot, so you're still getting the signal. But if you send it out to the side either way, you're going to lose signal.
Starts to get fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll recall them.
All right. So, what do you want to do? You can, if you go straight down, you just pop into the corridor a little bit, and you could try and retrieve that cortical stack.
I'll do that.
Okay. Are you infiltrating?
I am.
All right. Give me an infiltrate check.
78.
Okay. Okay.
Sneak.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Going through the.
Mm-hmm.
Is that above or
below? About 100 meters down. So you're basically going through a die-hard style tunnel, but straight down. But you're a robot, so you can hold onto those walls pretty easily. And so if anything happens to you, you can't fray because there's nowhere to move. But you go down, and you are going to pop into that tunnel and grab that cortical stack.
Very carefully, I'm going to look around. So I'm going to do the Hicks from Alien just when he pops up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something, like I said, there's that improvised server farm there. A bunch of data cables leading to... You realize it's plugged into something large above it. So, imagine this is the vertical tunnel. This is the bottom of it. There's... These dice are computers. And...
A little computer.
Yeah, so... There's tons of cables, and they're all plugged into each other, and then there's a bunch of cables leading up. And you are the D4 over here, and you just came up, so you can see this, but you're
computer science.
Sure.
Yeah, let's maybe try to see what this is.
Sure.
Ooh, 47. Yep.
Okay. It's if a surgeon trying to remake a Titan, or like Titans are seed AIs. They can't use they need a lot of server CPU cycles in order to think properly.
Like, hey, are you seeing this?
Yeah, you all
Yeah,
see this.
that's
I assume
true.
you're all technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Not
What do
sure
you
what
guys
to make
think?
of it, though.
so you might be able to get more information from that cortical stack of that dude that you, or that person that is right next to you, or you could go deal with that,
All right.
whatever the fuck that is.
Like this. I can see the stack.
Well, you see the robot.
I'm just
They
gonna
mentioned actually on the map wise, is that located anywhere near where they said where the sculpture was?
Yes.
Don't touch that.
Well, he's a ways off, so there's no danger of him touching it unless he goes up to.
Yeah, so I would get the cortical stack so we can.
that was the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a infiltrate check to get the cortical stack.
80.
Okay.
It's kind of like I'm kind of thinking like,
You have the vibro knife, so you can.
yeah,
get it
I'm
up.
just like, once I get to the robot, just give me that. Then like almost like opening a can of fruit.
All right, you're gonna go back up.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, this is a slow crawling process, by the way, and it takes you even longer to go up because gravity. But you eventually do. You don't have to make another check. You already made it. So,
Like, all right, like I don't even have a central nervous system right now, but I'm freaked the fuck out, whatever that was. Okay, well, here's the stack.
All right. So, do we have a Gulf Strider module with us, or
no one paid for one. So
Maybe we can find one here.
yeah. Is there a scavenging skill? I think there was in the previous edition, but I can't
not
remember.
in this
Okay.
one? So, unless we just
Perceive.
count this
Yeah.
one.
Perceive or hardware robotics, actually.
Okay.
Somebody has hardware.
42 perceive.
Robotics. Okay.
26 on perceive.
Okay.
I have 50 on robotics.
Okay. Between all of you, you can jury rig essentially a ecto, and you can create a simple symbol space to instance the ego in,
Okay. So,
and then one of you can connect to it, and it'll be like unless it's infected with some crazy exurgent virus, you should be fine.
so any which way we can actually we can air gap this just in case, or
Well, air gap. I mean, that's the thing is like it's a brain,
Oh,
like, it's a person's mind. So
that's-
like, how are you going to talk to it if you?
that's true. So,
You could if you do a text thing, that's going to be extremely disconcerting to the person.
that's true. So,
Be like, you wake up and you're in a your consciousness is in a text chat.
okay, I'll go ahead and use symbol space design to try to create something comforting to them. So, or one that's safe enough for to kind of have it restricted.
The other thing is you could have your muse actually act as the air gap.
That's
have your
true.
muse talk to it.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll design the space right now. So actually, make it a very.
Well, you don't have to make a
sudden-
roll. You have the skill very.
Yeah, so I'll just make it resort right now.
All right.
And
So
then,
whose muse is going to talk to it, or are you going to send a copy of all your muses in there?
all of our muses, I think that would be. So we can
Okay.
talk to it.
That's
so.
fair. Everybody.
So what were all your muses again?
The dread pirate Cthulhu.
Okay.
Harlock, the giant space galleon with the skull for the head.
Okay.
Winston,
Winston.
old school butler.
Okay. No.
Vince, dapper art critic looking type. Posh looking.
So are you just are you instructing all of your muses to get as much useful information?
Yes. So
Okay.
and figure out what is that sculpture?
Okay.
So,
All right.
What do we need to do to claim this space and make it our own?
All right. So your muses copy themselves on there. You won't get those copies back. They'll just be deleted when they're done because that's how air gapping works. But they give you a audio visual. Hello. We have all decided to. We are giving a joint presentation. It's like a group presentation at school. So the person who was left behind, their name is Inca Miklos, and Inca is very happy to have been rescued, and will be happy to reward us. They do not have much, but they will be happy to, or if they do not have many credits, but they can assist you however they're possible if you give them a morph and let them find out what happened in the, to their friends and family. But we understand, Inca understands you might be here on reasons that means you have to be cautious and quiet for a while. Hypercorp people are evil, and you have to lay low from the law. Inca understands this, apparently. Inca says that... so that I guess that would have been... Who's the most cheerful of the four muses? Probably Dread Pilot Cthulhu. Mm-hmm. All right. Sorry, Neil, what was yours again?
Vince.
Vince? What is Vince like?
Vince... well-dressed, artistic type. The kind of person who strolls through museums smugly.
Yeah.
Oh my, look at that.
Okay. Well, Vince pops in next. Inca says the sculpture is not actually sculpture. It's just what people called it during the attack. It was just, one of those things. It's not real art. The Exsurgent was trying to make something big. Like a big, giant robot thing, and people called it a sculpture. It's just a misnomer. But
it's not art.
Inca is surprised, apparently, that I guess not surprised that Exsurgent can't make a good sculpture. So,
lame.
Yeah. So that's what that is. Is apparently it was supposed to be some sort of giant robot, and people just called it a sculpture, or Inca just labeled it as a sculpture. So, let's see here. What was yours again, Aaron?
Basically, Tarlok's ship with the skull in front of it, but it's talking.
Yes.
Does it have a cigar?
Yes. No. Inca says there's a way to destroy it. There's a way to purge the central vertical tunnel with nuclear hellfire. Me mateys. That would destroy it. Inca doesn't give schematics and instructions on how to do it. Zemo, what was yours again? Winston?
Think old school, Buck.
Yes.
Talk through the side of your mouth.
Yes, well, it seems like a reasonable plan, but it is quite risky because it requires the infiltrator or person to, shall we say... be in visual range of this possible basilisk hazard. Inca's description of the attack itself is quite hurt, and I'm not an expert in Exsurgent attacks. But it does seem very dangerous. But it would destroy it in one fell swoop.
Okay, so we need to be able to purge. It's like purge this physically out of the base before.
And did you say that Inca does or does not have schematics for explosives?
No, to purge the reactor in such a way that the vertical tunnel is essentially everything in the vertical tunnel is incinerated.
Radiated, so yeah.
Well, and incinerated. It's just going to be like 2,000 degrees or something like that. It opens up to the surface, so which would cause some notice, but you can just wait to see if anybody notices you, or that people just assume that weird shit happens there. So there's a way to just push a button and wipe it all out. That requires you to go back all the way down to where you were, then sneak forward, and then under this area. And then push some buttons on a reactor, and then the reactor does a purging that.
So, what do you think? Do you think you can scram that reactor?
Come on, you remember Cairo.
Oh God, I tried to forget.
So let's do this.
Oh, that was different. That was a coal plant, but you're right. The principle is sound. It is the same.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, I just can't believe that. They still had a coal-fired plant there for something. That was weird.
Well, it was Cairo. They were always a little behind the times.
We apologize for any Cairo listeners out there.
So
crawl down.
Well, when it came to technology behind.
Okay. So you can crawl down that pretty easily. And now you just need to make a new... Now you need to make a check to get from here to this area.
Infiltration. 30.
Okay, so you move forward, and you're being very sneaky, but then you realize, to your horror, that they have they're running LiDAR sensors, which means that they're just bouncing lasers off your body because you have mass. They detect you, or something detects you. And you look above, you see the server farm, so you couldn't see up into the vertical tunnel until you move forward. And so you're right about here when something starts, these power cables or these data cables start moving, and you look up because you can't not look up. Mm-hmm. And so go ahead and give me that will save.
Will times 3.
Mm-hmm.
41.
Okay.
Out of 60.
All right. So you don't lose any, but you do see that there is this. It looks like a humanoid figure, but made of like ceramics and glass and metal, and it's somehow moving. It's made of impossible materials, and it's just spasming and violence, and it starts unfurling itself and twisting its body around, almost as though it's doing stretches. But it starts making this sound of glass and ceramic grating and grinding.
Well, now can I run?
Okay. Are you running to escape, or are you running to get to the reactor?
Getting to the reactor.
Okay.
I'm going to provide cover fire with this nice railgun rifle.
Oh, were you looking...
down the corridor at him, just keeping overwatch on him.
So were you crawling in behind him?
Not crawling, but I'm in the cable. Or I'm in the hallway.
Well, in order to do that, remember, this is at the
Descent.
bottom, so you had to go through the...
Just descend with... Just descend.
Yeah, so you descended down, and that's fine. So go ahead, but give me that will times 3 save, because...
Also,
yeah.
it's an actual silicon avatar that you've given us.
It's a holy fucking shitballs.
Well, apparently it didn't... Yeah.
Odd 2, I'm fine.
Well, it's still scary, so go ahead and give me your attack roll.
Oh no!
Holy shitballs. Holy.
It's just another failed Titan Ascension project.
So that's a 54 out of my 80.
Because that's the dime a dozen, so...
Yeah, apparently. I'm sorry, what?
54 out of 80.
Okay, so you start shooting things. Bullets are hitting things. Ceramic bits are falling off and shattered. Maybe it's... one would hope it would have an effect. You can roll damage if it makes you feel better.
I was thinking more along the lines of, those are cables that are moving towards towards Lawrence. Clip off the cables as they're coming.
Yeah, your
down.
bullets go through those. Like it's like shooting through water almost, and then those are solid things of nanomachines.
Lawrence, move faster. Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know nanomachines could do
Running.
that. That's not what transhuman nanomachines can
Running.
do. You get to the door, the hatch, to get to the reactor thing, but it's very heavy, so you need to pull it open.
We'll pull it open.
Well, that's going to be a Psalm times 3.
Psalm times 3.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, did you adjust your pools for your new Morse, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
I did not, but I am in the same one, so...
Okay, yeah.
Same.
So for you, Tom, you're in a steel morph.
Mm-hmm.
You have 0 insight, 1 moxie, 3 vigor, and 1 flex.
Alright.
So get rid of whatever your other morph had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run those numbers again. Just in order.
0 insight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're up here.
I know. I'm just writing down for
Okay.
this temporary one.
Okay. 1 moxie, 3 vigor, and 1 flex.
Thank you.
All right. So did you make your sometimes?
I did.
All right. So you're lifting up, but it's taking you some time. Nil, are you going to be down here to distract or do anything?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Please
your backup.
distract. Yeah, please
Okay.
distract.
Okay. How do you want to distract the weird thing made of apparently ceramic and glass
It's liquid.
and
Does it
well,
look-
the cables are liquid. Well, they're nanomachines that act like liquid. It's weird. Yeah.
Does it look like it's engaged with any particular individual?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. 37? Good.
You realize Zemo shot the cables, didn't have effect, but the servers pulled from various machines in the habitat. Those haven't been touched yet, so you can try and fuck with them if you have something. You want to fuck with it somehow. Did you get any disassembler swarms or
I did not.
any weapons?
I have a utilitool. That's
Oh, yeah.
the best I can do.
Yeah, you could use a utility to get up close and personal.
I'll go around and try that.
Okay. You have hardware robotics, right? You can give me your
Robotics, demolitions, electronics.
electronics. Give me electronics. Actually, you can fuck with the power in the habitat itself. Try and cut power off of them. You wouldn't even need to touch those servers. You basically go to a circuit box and try and shut off some of its power.
Last flex.
Okay.
That's an +7.
All right. So it shudders as you route power away from the creature, which has
No, whatever you're doing, keep it up.
yeah. Things are getting very dramatic in here. Lots of lights are flashing. There's a lot of sparking things. SAIROC, are you still up on the surface?
I'm on the surface right now. I was kind of monitoring everything through the mesh right now. Although,
Simon.
Simon, sorry. Yeah.
That's true. So, but if you, but since he's rerouting it, is there any systems that are coming online that I can see through the mesh?
If you spend a point of flex, there are.
I can.
All right. What system do you want to have come online?
All right. Let's see. Actually, if I could possibly do a environmental system, so either a heater or something else, something that would disrupt the. If I turned it on full blast, could possibly disrupt the. Be a bigger energy pull and supplement what.
There's mining equipment. You could reactivate some of that. That draws a shitload of power.
Okay, I would like to do that. So.
Yeah. Either one.
Okay, I'll do. Yeah, I'll go into the mining equipment. So.
Okay.
All right. So just infosec again
Sure.
or interface.
Yep. Infosec.
Okay.
You have to get through this firewall.
All right. That's going to be 39.
Well, that beats a 9.
Okay.
So. It's brute force though, so you managed to turn on, so you're routing power away. All right, so you get down there. So give me an athletics.
All right. 9.
All right, you're getting there. So Zemo, give me a perception check.
Let's see. That is a fail, but I can flip it with. Let's see, where is perception? Why can't I see perceive? Oh, there it is. It's an int. So, yeah, I'll use my insight to flip it.
Okay.
That's a 19.
All right. Yeah, you see there are glass shards protecting from it, but they're sort of at a weird angle, so it's hard to see. But you see them, and they are routing towards the circuit box towards Nil. So you could try and shoot those to keep it away from him.
Yes, let's do that.
All right.
13.
Okay. Nil, you're not going to get attacked this round.
Yay! Teamwork!
So, give me another electronics check to keep.
That broken glass.
Well, no, you can keep on doing the same thing, or you could try to overload the creature with electricity. Of course, that might just you don't know how much it can take, so you might help it or hurt it. But if you route power away from it, that's clearly having an effect.
Right. Under the circumstances, I know this is working, so I'm going to do that, but more so.
Okay.
And that's a fail anyway. I slice it.
Okay. You it seems to treat you, as damage routing power away from your control. So, it's getting powered up again, of course, thanks to Simon. It's not able to fully wake up because, it's losing power from the mining equipment.
How the hell did it snatch the power? It's a statue.
Well, it's kind of a weird giant... Well, it's weird. We'll say that. We'll leave it at that. So, let's see here. Lawrence, now you're at the reactor. Now, you don't have any nuclear engineering skills or anything like that, so you're going to just have to follow these instructions that this Inca gave you.
All right.
So this is a cog times 3 roll that you really don't want to crit fail. Although crit failing would be really bad. It would be
Quite
hilarious.
simple if you follow this YouTube tutorial.
21.
That's literally basically what you're doing. 21. All right, 21. So you're doing it. In fact, you do it. Purge. Simon, you're already at the outer airlock, so you're protected.
I'm actually just going to... Candles are lit.
Is
there a place...
There is a hidey hole for you. You're definitely going to have to make an athletics check to get there.
I will do that.
Although if you crit fail this, it'll be really funny.
18.
Okay. Now,
Ross said there was a hint of disappointment.
there is a bit of disappointment. They can pull your stack out. I wouldn't be that mean.
We never let him have any fun.
But yeah, you'd totally lose your word. It'd just be done. You'd be done so. But Zemo and Nil, you see barricade blast doors go all around the vertical. They're going to vent all this heat to the surface from the vertical main vertical tunnel. The problem is the blast doors on your level, the bottom level, aren't working. So you're going to either need to get somewhere where it ain't going to be real hot real quick. So let's see here. You can go the maintenance tunnel. You could fit in that pretty quickly. So could you.
Can I reroute power to get those doors to work again?
Or you could do that.
I would like to do that.
All right, that'll protect Zemo. Are you going to stay and let him do that and hope he succeeds?
Yes, I'm going to put my trust in my teammate, and I'm going to provide Overwatch and shoot the glass off of him while he's doing it.
All right, give me another shooting check.
29, so I
All
make.
right. Yeah, you're just firing as your music's like, oh, sir, the temperature will increase.
I am aware of the danger, Winston.
5, 4.
Boom.
9. Make it.
3. Yeah, thanks, because you already have extreme temperature mods. You don't. I mean, it still gets to like 200 degrees Celsius in there, even with the blast door. But your Morse can take it. So good job. You wiped out the exsurgent infection. So you got a little ghost town habitat. Yep.
Well,
Slowly opening the door.
well, that was eventful. Who's ready for tea?
All right.
Start repressurizing the atmosphere first.
Yeah. With Inca's help, I assume you're going to use their help for this.
Yeah, and if she consents to it, I'll see if we can find a system where we can plug her in for some space and control. So
Inca's non-binary, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they, no worries. So they are able to help you and are able to get the station online and keep it look like it's still abandoned.
Okay.
You don't have much, but you'll be able to survive here for 2 weeks to pull off your prison break and then flood the caravan with drugs, narco algorithms, and as part of your circuitous plan. So,
1/4 of the way down.
yeah, now we can do the prison break. Everyone can give me perceive checks to just kind of scout out using your spy swarms and whatnot.
Okay. Odd 4.
Okay.
36.
Okay.
51.
All right, so all three of you make it. You figure out a good approach for Lawrence to make his attempt, but you realize they... Actually, you can all give me interface checks, too, to see if they do have an unprotected signal.
17.
Okay.
39.
Odd 5.
Okay. There's actually 2 signals going there. Yes, I'm prison like this is supposed to have.
I'm sorry. I thought
Prisons like this are supposed to not be totally locked down. Like they're not supposed to have open mesh signals that you can connect to from a distance. But there's 2.
Okay, so can we tell what's broadcasting off of those?
No, it is encrypted. You will have to hack into it.
Okay. Quick question, just from the proceeding right now. Are we seeing? Is everybody that we're seeing right now still in the synth morphs, or are there anybody in some enviro suits that we can see for biomorphs or pods?
It's like 90% synth morphs.
Okay.
There are a couple enviro suits. There's actually not just enviro suits. There's like various other types of hard suits. There's like a battle suit kind of thing.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
Like riot control battle suits. Well, actually, not even riot. More like heavy machine gun, like rail machine gun, like vehicle mounted weapon on a like think the mechs in Zion, but fully environmentally protected.
Okay, that kind of sealed from there. So, how many are we seeing around?
There are 2.
Okay.
Only one's on duty at any given time.
Okay.
And it's on the surface, and you realize that's sort of like for runners who somehow break free of their... So each robot has very hardware controls to prevent them from escaping or anything like that. But if someone were able to disable those, the gunner is going to be able to go out there and like shoot them down.
Okay. Considering that, so if we're assisting each other right now, we can we can go ahead and make a roll for.
So one signal is near on the surface, but the other one is very, very weak. So it must be coming from below.
Okay.
So that one is very, very hard to connect to.
Right.
So that would be like it'll be a interface. You can only for every roll you make, even if you're successful, you're raising your threat profile. Because, they will have traffic. So these two signals are obviously not being detected, but, if you connect to them, they start getting more traffic than usual. You risk, the prison's
exposing
getting...
those,
So, you can't just connect to both without some risk offset.
Okay. So if we could probably take a look at the top one, maybe just briefly to see, and then wait to see if, once Lawrence is on site, to be able to connect to the one with once it's stronger.
Well, the surface one is a lot easier to connect to, so you could do it more quickly.
That's what I was thinking. So, and then, just see what information we get off of that, and then...
But the one below surface is yeah.
Yeah, so at least waiting till he's there, and then we can supplement his skill.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. We don't connect until we absolutely have to. But now that we know that we can remote connect, we can.
So I would say at least trying to get some information from the top side one first, and just for maybe a brief flash to reduce our profile.
Okay.
So
all right. So Lawrence is focused on figuring out how he's going to stealth this. So he's sort of doing that. So go ahead. Nil, what's your infosec at?
My infosec is 62.
62.
Okay. So and mine's at 70. So if you want
That's still the lowest of the group.
Okay. Well, that's okay. But you want to help me for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So at least put myself at 80.
Okay.
All right. 66 critical success.
Okay. Well.
So finally got one.
Yeah. No.
One of us. One of us.
So this one. These are. Congratulations! You found the prison guard pirated media server.
Found their Plex server.
Yeah, essentially. There's actually Between the Mountains, all seasons. There's a lot of stuff. Apparently, it takes them about a year to get shit from Mars, but there's a lot of intersystem media, a lot of contraband, so that's why it was so easy. Well, so yeah, it's. But there's also a message board for all the guards. They all shoot the shit and talk shit to each other, and about their CEOs and shit like that.
Is there any kind of rotation schedule on the?
Not official.
Posters?
It's just like their hangout. This is like something the guards set up for themselves, and they didn't tell anyone. It's definitely not official. So,
right. So since we're pretty much undetected, could we do either a perceive check or something else to see if there's a particular?
Not perceived. This would be like kinesics.
I do.
Kinesics, sociology, anything to analyze group dynamics and shit like that.
Oh, I got that.
So,
okay.
Let's try the kinesics.
And
Odd 5 out of 80.
Okay. Overall, the group mood is this is basically a sign that this group is. It's a sign of low morale in general to have something like this that's so blatant. The CEOs almost obviously know that it's there. If you can detect this from a distance, the CEOs could definitely detect it, and they're turning a blind eye to it because otherwise they'd have a fucking mutiny at their hands. Guards fucking hate this place. They hate doing this job. Some of them are sympathetic to the prisoners. There's a lot of political dissidents, a lot of autonomists, a lot of shit like that. There's apparently they have another prison that they use for actual gangsters.
If we could spoof a signal,
for big time gangsters, there are small timers like your hackers or your programmers.
But if we could possibly spoof a signal or basically do a shutdown and somehow make it seem like it was a corporate memo,
that would increase their. You know what? What we really need to do is find a way to clean up the signal and boost it so that they get the best programming that they've had in a while. If we wanted to do anything with that signal at all. Really. If we fuck with their entertainment, they're going to go, oh shit, now we've got to look alive. Look alert for the first time in ages. This is actually a good sign. I say we either leave it alone or we find a way to clean up some of the static on it. And if we clean up the static, we'll get more people watching it. Which is going to reduce...
Well, the thing is, you do have a bit of... actually, you have programming too. So, yeah, you can leave it alone. You could use it to get a sense of where guards are going to be, like to get a profile. But who has programming as a
I
skill?
do.
You do? Nil? Okay, well, Nil, yeah, well, given your background, too, you could fucking infect them with malware. They're down. They trust every piece of media on this server. They would just, like, fun.exe. Yes,
We could just literally infect them with DDR and just let them go.
Yes, I do need to buy that now.
Yeah.
Give me all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Do you think you could put a sleepy on the malware and just, here, click me for fun, and knock them out?
Oh, the NightQuil.
Right.
NightQuil.exe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you could do that.
Or
you have a
Or someone singing
they're
the
unprotected.
Invulcania theme.
Sounds fun.
This is why any normal prison would not allow this shit to go by, because it's a huge security threat.
But who's going to do this on Mercury?
Yeah, exactly. So
That's their security plan. It's Mercury.
so you two can set up and monitor that to trigger. In fact, you could set up multiple packages. Each of you can make your own programming check.
Okay.
And like just do it as preparedness. Whenever Tom runs into a problem, you could pop a malware to
Run on delayed
Okay,
loop
yeah,
so that every time segment.
Well, you can just monitor Lawrence and just whenever, like, you could first do a malware to network everyone and figure out what every guard is, and just like, oh, guard Steve is about to detect Tom. Oh, DDR. Oh, NightQuil. You know, so just it's basically putting cheat buttons on the guards. So,
All right. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and set those up. So,
all right.
Pretty much.
yes, 15 out of 70.
35.
Okay. So you both set up some little fun tools and spend a couple days to propagate, and so you get a sense of every single guard that uses the server, and you basically owned all of them. Good job.
Owned.
And so, Lawrence, it's time for some sneaky sneak. So you've identified a good approach. Basically, you just go to the main airlock. Sorry.
Air hole.
I like air hole.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go down the air hole, Tom.
Is that a technical term?
It is now.
Okay, then.
And the only thing is, once you're in the mine itself, they won't be able to. Well, actually, no, because you can install the repeater, so they'll still be able to follow you the whole way. So you go to the airlock. There's several main buildings, but the one you want is the one that goes down into the mines, because they never leave the mines. They're just there 24/7.
Because scorching.
Well, yeah. Also, because why would you give them rest? They're in robots, so sleeves. So, yeah, you basically get in there, find the 3 robots you want, put them on the freight elevator, and push the button, run. And with those 2 providing cover, it's pretty simple.
Let's see.
Yeah, basically. So
Sneaking.
Yep. So basically, every time you fail, they'll have to program. So they're in and they're able to do that, but every programming check will have a cumulative penalty.
Okay.
So, and that's for, yeah, anyways.
76.
Okay, is that a success?
Yeah.
Yep.
Only a 99 is a failure.
Okay. That is a 70, but that does not succeed. Well, I mean, it does succeed, because they are really good. It's a fucking prison. They still have a shitload of sensors and guards. So you get to the airlock. Now, the airlock itself is locked. So you could have them use their malware to get the lock open, or do you have a way to open the lock yourself? So you do know that there's a hardware key that you could go and steal from a guard, or you could try and hack it yourself.
Would that be InfoSec?
Yes, it would be InfoSec. I assume you're not going to wait an hour to do it, though.
No.
Okay, so it's negative 30.
All right.
So you're just hacking a door.
50. 46.
68, which is a failure because it's just a door. It's not that. I mean, it's just, standard password is 1234.
It's password.
Yeah. So you open up the door, and are you just going to take the freight elevator down, or are you going to use the ladder to go down?
I'll use the ladder.
Okay.
Can I do use athletics to do the slide?
Oh,
down?
sure. Oh, yeah. No.
Totally.
Yes, please do. That's very cool.
Okay. 70.
All right.
Out of 80. Just.
All right. You get down to the mines. Give me a perceive check.
10.
Okay. You know which way to go.
All right.
Now give me infiltrate.
81.
Okay. So you're getting closer. And you can see now the problem is you come into a large place where there's a lot of work being done. There's a lot of robots and several guards. And the problem is there's too much. You can't possibly just get through this without some help or to... you're not an octopus body, so those maintenance tunnels aren't really big enough for you. So.
Okay, guys, this could be a problem.
All right, so the cumulative penalties per player. So who wants to take the first shot at this?
I'll take it. So
okay, so the first one is at base.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right, so what are you popping the malware to do?
We'll pop the malware. How many guards are in his way right now that are in clear shot?
There are 2 guards.
2 guards. So, popping DDR so they can dance the night away. So they're bored.
All right.
Let's think the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 56 out of 70. Made it.
All right. Now any future check you have will be at a -10.
Okay.
But DDR pops up. You can crawl through. You'll be at a -20 though because it's still crowded. But everybody's watching the 2 guards that are pop locking.
Technically,
what style of dance are they doing actually?
Slow waltz because that's what they saw between 2 mountains the last time.
Oh yeah, the 2 giant robot lesbians.
Okay, well, technically my skill's 130.
Okay.
So.
No chameleon bonus because that's negated by other things. So what's your base skill?
100.
So it's 80 now.
All right, fine. 33.
Okay. Well,
a critical success.
That is a critical. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you get to a side tunnel where you think your targets will be. Give me a perceive check to find them.
64. That does not succeed.
All right.
He's like, guys, I'm gonna need some whereabouts.
Well, you can make another check, or you could ask. There are prisoners there. You could try and ask them if you're willing to reveal yourself to a prisoner.
I'm not yet.
Okay.
Can you guys give me some whereabouts?
So you could pop a malware to essentially get the 411, just pop up the guards in optics, so you can the guard. Yeah. So basically. Basically, the smart, they're just why am I pulling up this prisoner information? Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Stupid robot eyes.
Exactly. So you can do that.
You're bored. Shut up and watch your...
Yeah, between 2 mountains.
Smart glasses, whatever.
Yeah.
Shut up. 47, that'll do it.
All right. So now you'll be at a -10. But you get the locations of all 3.
Okay.
2 of them are Gunter and... Sideswipe are in one area, but Pawnscum is in another area. So you have 2 places to visit if you want to get all 3.
Okay, I'll get the 2 there together first.
Okay. So you head there. You don't have to make a check for that. But they are working. So what's your plan? There is a guard in the area, but they're not watching them constantly. So
Can I get into is there a way that I can just get a message into their robo brains, just those 2?
if you touch them, that would be an infiltrate check.
I'll try that.
Okay.
Infiltration. 83.
Okay. Okay. You succeed. What do you say?
Just it was Gunther and which was this one?
Sideswipe.
It's I'm Gunther and Sideswipe, I presume. No, keep working. But listen, we're here to get you out. It's we're here to get you out.
Golly, that's just gee willikers.
It's see.
I can't find any gold there.
Well, I'll tell you.
The only gold is in the revolution.
Look, I'll tell you. We need something from you, but in exchange for helping us, we are ready to put you back into the fight against the bourgeoisie.
Fine. Well, sideswipe. Yes. Fine. Just get me out of here.
All right. All right. Is there any way I'm gonna need you? There's a tunnel. Get back where I can.
We have hardware that will lock us down the instant we do something out of that the guards think we're doing something wrong.
Guys, what do you think? We have something for this?
You only affected the guard, but you can you can directly link to it now since he's touching them. Mm-hmm. So you can malware the hardware, the hardware limiters.
Okay, so I'll give it a shot. So
okay, so you're at -10.
Yeah. So that's B60. I have to make 60 or 100. So. All right, and that's not 1. So
Okay. So you disable for those two.
It's like, and as of right now, they are disabled for you two. It's like, tell you what, like, meet me at this tunnel. I have one more to collect.
Okay. We'll be seen pretty quickly. If you don't hurry.
It's like, trust me, like things are gonna get weird around here pretty soon.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Give me another infiltration check.
88 critical success.
Okay. 77 critical success. So
88 is higher than 77, I believe.
yeah, I didn't give Tom any. I didn't say what penalties there were before you rolled though, but I will say you don't get caught, but it's a similar situation. There are actually more guards that are moving in there because the dancing has caused a bit of a commotion. And so the guards are like, we think something's up. They swear they weren't dancing. That sounds like they were compromised. Oh, it's one of those fucking hackers again. Someone go get that. I bet it was Ponscom. That sounds like him. Go get him. Let's put him in the torture chamber for a bit. Yeah. They can't beat them because they're fucking robots, but they can put them in single space torture chamber. Mm-hmm. So they're heading to Ponscom.
I will follow them.
Okay. All right. You follow them there, so they get there first.
Actually, I better speed up. Then I better get there.
All right. Have your infiltrate.
So 50.
Mm-hmm.
100.
Okay. Yeah, fuck off. All right, so you get there. You can do the same thing. You don't have to make any rolls. I guess I'm an artiste.
It's like your art is not here.
Tell him he's got his choice: getting tortured, literally tortured.
I'll tell you. By the way, the guards are coming to simul space you.
Well, there's no way out of here except through the way you came.
It's like that's where we're going.
Okay, well, I hope you have some good weapons then, because you're going to have to stop those guards. And yeah, there are going to be like 3 guards heading your way.
Okay.
So, Neil, do you want to disable them with malware?
I would love to do that.
All right,
I think you
this is
should
your
have-
second time. So,
That sounds like tremendous fun.
You should do that.
Op 9.
all right, how do you disable them?
Where's those stupid
NyQuil.
algorithms?
It's like NyQuil.exe.
Well, you can just make one up.
Yeah,
you can just hijack their bodies and make them do something.
Erogenous zone.exe.
Or
I don't
Yeah, they
want
just-
anybody else.
Yeah,
Bad
they
motivator.
basically just started running a maze in their heads.
okay,
Ratrace.exe.
okay, so they're just standing there. And
That's right. Then look like this. Then like
Yellow Ball's gonna eat me.
so. So like when that happens, I
Put me back in the temple.
So like, when he does that, I just look at him and say, "We have the best weapons.
All right,
Come now."
all right. So
You're not getting out until you make it to the shrine of the silver monkey.
yeah, this is at the point where you need to run. So yeah, give me that athletics check.
74.
All right, so you get to the freight elevator and you push the button to go up because you have 3 robots with you and you all can't take the ladder up at the same time. It would be faster this way, but it's still not fast. So you two can see on the network that there are guards converging on the freight elevator, including Big Boy.
Damn it.
Okay, can I try to stall the elevator?
You stall the elevator?
Why?
Why would you stall the elevator?
They're getting on.
He's on.
Sorry, I thought you were on the.
No, he's trying to come up. They're going to where the elevator will be on the surface.
Okay.
So you need to slow down Big Boy and the others somehow.
Are there any kind of emergency doors that on that level that I could activate to block them or slow down their access?
No, they're on the surface.
Oh, they're on the surface.
Yeah, they're on the surface.
Send them to building
Okay.
C instead of building B.
So
You could.
let's like reroute there. That's like that's fine. Yeah, so we'll give that a try and see.
Okay, yeah,
So I thought they were on a different level.
No, they're on the surface.
That's fine. So yeah,
Basically, using your malware multiple times in a short period on the guards has raised enough alarms.
Oh, I got a better. That's like me causing more chaos too, just because I'm worried about that going through. On the big hard suit, is it possible to reroute its reticles to target the friendly robots instead?
Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah. So,
all right, give me balance.
Yeah.
Now you're negative 20.
Yep, so negative 20. So, yep.
Come on, dude.
All right, ought to.
Okay. There's gunfire.
Ironically, it is called Dead Eyes.
Yeah. So you're kind of puppet socking that for a bit, your extraction is just going to be more running.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Give me one more athletics check.
11.
All right. You basically have to Sherpa the bots too. They're in pretty shitty bot bodies, but you're so motivated,
Like, woo!
that you literally carry them with you, and you rescue all three.
You're like this fireman carrying them, and running.
you
It's a good thing I don't get tired.
Yeah, you don't, and you go through enough. I mean, you're basically 20 kilometers away from the prison.
I run 20 kilometers.
Yeah, basically. But because you two unload the rest of your malware payloads to just saturate the network and just until you disappear, and so the prison break works. And
you know what would be really funny? Set all of the prisoners free and then just start a hoedown. If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago.
Well, that may be in a future heist. But you got your objective. So, with the pawn scum, and does anybody have persuasion? Zemo?
I do.
Give me a persuasion check. See if we can get pawn scum and sideswipe to work together.
That is a 79 out of 80.
Okay. Yeah, you're very persuasive because you have all the leverage. Work with us or...
Good luck out there.
Yeah, you'll die. We'll just the Mercury prison. They don't come after you. They don't find you. So,
and if either of you guys say no, then we can always just go with.
You assume that they just covered up and re-sleeve from back up all those prisoners. So,
we can always go with. What is your good name, Mr. Klondike? Was it?
Grizzly Gunter.
Grizzly Gunter. I'm sure Grizzly Gunter could give us something that would be narco algorithm like.
Sure, I get you all fucked up. Almost fucked up as my quest for gold.
Now, see, you two artists,
as big as your head.
You two artists could probably give me better than that. So, this is the benchmark. Let's see how far you fly over it.
All right.
Would you? This is what I'm looking for.
Literally, hey, it's Christmas time. Literally infect them with silver and gold.
So, yeah. The Pawn Scum and Sideswipe are easily motivated to work with you. You're able to make the perfect algorithm. And then with Grizzly Gunter, you can contact, you can send out a message to one of the Nomad autonomous caravans, and they'll be able to make a supply drop. Each giving you 4 GP worth of gear, or just cryptocurrency on little, USB drives, essentially. So you can figure out how you want to spend that. And Gunter's very grateful. And,
he sounds grateful just because he's Gunter.
Yeah. So, give me one more persuasion check. You're going to try and pitch Malik to help you overthrow the caravan in exchange for using the crawler, right?
More or less.
Okay.
That is a 12, and I will spend to upgrade that from a success to a better success.
Okay. So Malik accepts your proposal. He says if you can, he will send this narco algorithm. He'll have his people propagate it. And so your drug will be there to incapacitate them on command. Really incapacitate, not just get them high. So hopefully the other 2/3 of the remaining third of the caravan will be on your side. So, yeah.
Well, and if necessary, I can go there to sell it. I was going to see about getting a temporary berth on that particular caravan.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. All of you will have to go there for the actual heist. So the next part of the thing will be actually hijacking it piloting it over to the factory,
Yeah.
and then all of you together will have to work to plug it into the antimatter bomb, so you don't all blow up. And then you can break into that vault and get the data. So, but yeah, I think that'll be enough for tonight. You're all ready. You're poised to go. So you just have to wait for the caravan to get close enough. So yeah. Any questions, comments, suggestions?
I just want to say I love that this is the game where we can go into a ghost town that is populated by one giant statue and then break people out of prison with literal DDR.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
By the way, the other server that the other wireless signal that you picked up was actually a scheme of one of the guards. He set up basically a Bitcoin farm using the prisoners' computer CPUs, and he was basically beaming them out to.
What an asshole!
Yeah, no. Well, here, prison guards on Mercury are not nice people. Yeah.
So what's the job interview? Are you corrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least we got out that one. So.
Well, at least you're honest about being corrupt. Come on in.
Yeah, it's very much the Blazing Saddles recruitment scene. So, yeah. Anyways, there's another question.
Yep, that's
see you
fine.
all next time. Bye.
Bye.
What are you